the air.
Oh, it says live at the top right.
Hello, everyone. We're live. Welcome to the Hangout. I'm RealWalker. I'm joined here with FlatEarthCity's next to me. He doesn't have audio, so he won't be able to listen, but he's going to be watching the chat and communication. So, yeah, right now we have David, Zoom Truth, here with us, and Marilyn, Spirit Level Teed. So...
Hey.
Yeah, we're waiting on authentic intent at the moment, guys. So just hang tight. He'll be joining us shortly. But yeah, I just wanted to welcome you guys to the event. We're going to be talking about all things great, everything concerning the flat Earth activism world, and try to get the message out there to you guys to see what we can do to improve the world of activism and get more people on board. So thanks for joining us. So
well, thanks for having us. That's great that you put this together.
Yeah, good job, Steve.
Yeah, most definitely. And you guys, you've been doing so much lately. Like obviously, we've been keeping tabs on everything that's been going in David's world with the whole citation issue, and so that
solved somehow. I think the police did not bother us yesterday.
Yeah, so something's happening, and we did get a response on. We did email them, and we did get a response saying that they were doing an investigation or looking into the issue. So we'll just see where that leads, you know. So yeah. David, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, might lead to jail.
Hopefully not.
We'll see. I don't trust the system, so we'll see what happens. But I really appreciate your letter, you guys. Steve, I mean, you got that. You know, you got a letter back from the councilman. So I don't want to make this about me, though. So let's keep going. You know?
Yeah, for sure, man. You just so you know, we're here to support you, and that's what this flat Earth activism is all about. Is we want to support each other and help each other grow and do what we can do to help us, you know, survive out there in the world, because it is hard doing this activism. It's very difficult. So we're not going to sugarcoat it and tell you it's like easy peasy, but you know, this is something that we all need to support each other on, and we all need to be there for each other. So whenever something comes up, we all got to stand up together and make sure that freedom of speech is protected alongside with all our personal rights. So, you know, yeah, definitely. So yeah, Marilyn,
it's kind of like giving birth, and you guys probably wouldn't understand this, but a woman who gives birth, she goes through all the pains and the carrying that baby and all that. But then afterwards, they forget all about that because they see the little child in front of them. So every once in a while, we get a new baby that just opens their eyes right there in front of us, and it makes it all worth the while. David and I were out yesterday, and he said, "Oh, just hearing that gave me the chills." I said, "Yeah, that's right. It's like so exciting when somebody wakes up."
It really is.
Yeah, it is definitely exciting when people wake up, because you know, first off is like when people do wake up, you know, a lot of people are going to be you know, motivated to take action, which is why activism is here. And then secondly, they're going to be, you know, they're going to want to reach out to all their friends and family and make sure that they know. So, you know, that's the thing, is that we're birthing this reality, this truth into the mainstream, and we're kind of like trying to guide it along so that it grows and it has a healthy life of truth. You know, that's what we want. We want people out there to not only realize this, but actually start working together to improve the world around us. You know, it's a scary thought to think of, you know, all our efforts and everything, and it's like, you know, not a lot of people are waking up, and not a lot of people are really like paying attention, but just give it time. You know, we're all going to start seeing, you know, it come to fruition over time. You know, the more of us are out there doing this, the more people out there are going to be like, you know, supportive and with us, you know. So we just got to grow each other on a level of understanding. Oh, David is down. Oh, well, I'm sure he'll be back in. So no worries there. But yeah. So I don't know. I'm just going on. I wanted to do an intro. So Marilyn, how about you want to kick this off and tell people about what you've been up to, what you got going on, and stuff like that, and introduce your channel.
Okay, I have two channels actually. They're both Marilyn Spirit Level, but one is on my Gmail and the other, David's back.
David's
So
back.
the other one is my Yahoo account, but they're both YouTube. So my viewership is split a little, and that's okay because I'm not really out there for the numbers. I'm out there, you know, just to wake people up that I see face to face. So my channel, really, I guess all of our channel, when we do activism, is to encourage other flat earthers to do what we are doing, to get out there, give them examples of how we handle certain situations with different kinds of people, and how to, you know, drop things, how to, you know, pursue things. It's all about your technique, and
Yeah.
you know, that's what it's really. So I do have 2 channels. I was out with Dave yesterday, and he can elaborate on that too. But I tried the new the banners that we had up in Times Square, and I put them on a different frame.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
and I had them on my little granny grocery cart. And so when we were walking, I was walking down the boardwalk with the banners up and in display, and people were looking. Everyone who looked, I gave them out a little card that I make up these cards, and I have a video on my channel that shows how to make these, and they're all different. Everywhere I go, it's a little different. When I went out to Lancaster, I put more about Jesus on there because I knew that was the crowd that I was speaking to. You have to look at your target market.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, this one is how to do research and make up your own mind. So, you know, it addresses things like that. And I guess I should do a little bit more on this on my channel. But I'll just read my favorite thing in here is, what is the difference between being educated with lies and being uneducated?
Yeah.
There's no difference.
No difference. Yeah.
So that's how I use that. I use that
really,
line.
actually, because you actually act in an even worse manner. You actually do things that are contrary to your own best interest. So there is a difference.
Like the educated people who have a degree. I have a science degree, and we had one of those yesterday, David.
Yep.
And if I had known that right off the bat, I could have really like zoned in on it. But yeah, when you get an educated, I'm a science degree, I'm a physics major, I had a this and that. Okay, so then, you know, then I know how to approach that person. I know you just got to go right for the core on that.
I think there's so little hope for those people, like right now, and because they have so much confidence in themselves. Like they're walking below, we're beneath them. We're beneath them.
I know.
We are not as intelligent as them.
Right.
Jim Thorpe video I have, I think it's number 2, where a woman walked by with her family and she said, "Oh, I'm a physics degree." And I said, "You come back here, I will debate you. Half of my brain tied behind my back." And you know what? That whole family turned around, came back, and she's the one who said to me, "Oh, the Pacific Ocean is higher than the Atlantic Ocean."
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I finally had to say to her, "Okay, you figure out the curvature formula. You go find evidence, and then you teach your children." And with that, they turned and left because I think they knew that.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. They will either because they're not, you know, they're just not going to take. It's like we're screwed.
You don't know that, David. You don't know what seeds you plant when they will.
I agree. I
True.
agree.
You don't know.
I agree.
So I look at everything a positive.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, guys, real quickly, I just wanted to run down the chat, mention people who are here. We got Apollo the Sun, Frequencies Illuminated is here. You know, who else? The Plain Truth. Who else? I'm not ignoring you guys. I see you guys all commenting. Thank you for being here. Zetetic Truth Tube, Jim Lotus, P900 Cool Pics. Thanks for coming out. Awesome, guys. Oh, Karen B, yo, what's up? Critical Inception, my man.
Hey, how come I don't see any of that?
You're gonna have to check that on your YouTube stream because it's separate from the Hangout stream.
Okay,
yeah, FlatEarthCity's here. Yeah, so yeah, guys. Sorry I had to interrupt. I just wanted to make sure that I was paying attention to the chat, seeing people commenting like crazy, and I'm like, wow, you know, that's awesome. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for joining us. And hopefully you've been, you know, hearing what we're discussing here, talking about all things real with flat Earth activism. So yeah, Marilyn Teed, I just introduced her, and she kind of told us a little bit about her channel and what was going on. But I also want to focus on David, Zoom Truth. So hey, David, you want to introduce your channel and talk about your stuff?
Sure. Hold on one second. I just have to get my thing.
Yeah.
Here.
I mean, David, I love your channel, man. I you know, that's one of the things. I watch your channel all the time. And when I found out about you, it's like you subscribed to me, and then I watched you, and then I was like, oh, this guy is awesome. Then I'm like, hey, wait a second, this is the guy that subscribed to me. And I was like, what the heck? And I was like, oh, this is awesome. I was like, now we definitely have to communicate. So that's when I like reached out to you. I was like, we definitely have to communicate. We're on the same level, and we both like each other's stuff. So yeah, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were part of what caused me to get going out there, watching you get out there, because, you know, I'm just fed up. I'm so fed up with this world, and I hope that we can get right to how the heck we can stop this, because, you know, I don't even want to do this. I'm not interested. You know what I mean? I don't want to do this.
Yeah, but why do you do it? Why do you do it?
Well, because of all the other bullshit. They steal half my income. They steal. Oh, like, it's insane how much of our society has been destroyed because of our ignorance. And so until because we are being managed by the majority, and I used to be the majority. I'm David Bradley on the chat, everybody. I'll post it, but this is me. This is me. So that's me, or I said vid is me, whatever. But just so you know, I'm not in the right account right now. But point is that you know, that's the only reason I'm doing it, because I feel like I'm handcuffed right now. And as you can tell, because I have a ticket now for doing nothing. I didn't hurt anybody. People need to freaking wake up, and that's the only reason. And that's why everybody's, you know, all these people watching us, or you know, all the people who are, you know, seeking the truth. You know, at some see, the thing is too is we're like, I'm not working, right? So it makes me able to do this. When you're working, I don't see how you do this on a very consistent basis without everything else in your life falling apart. Because my life is falling apart right now.
Good point. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think anybody can do this, even if it's an hour a day. I started by making a goal, setting a goal. And I knew that in order to get anything done, you have to set a goal. So I said, all right, I'm going to talk to one person a day. That was my goal. And, you know, it took me about 2 weeks to realize that that was too low a goal. So I immediately, you know, upped it. And I was like doing more and more. And the more you do, the easier it gets. And then you start coming up with, okay, what can I hand them? You know, Flat Earth 101 has these cards that you can get, and on the back it says research Flat Earth, and that's fine. But, you know, I wanted to give information, so that's why I came up with these kinds of cards. And I can print out 50 of these, cut them in 4s, and then I got 200 cards right there, and it takes no time at all. So you've got to, like, it's a progression. You know, you work your way into it. So
yeah, that's Flat Earth DIY right there. Yeah.
So it's your turn now, Steve. You say something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that reminds me of the Flat Earth DIY discussion I had not too long ago. You know, we have the resources here. Like, I mean, everybody out there who wants to do activism, you don't need to, you know, buy an expensive banner or buy, you know, high gloss printed trifold flyers. Like that's not necessary. I mean, you know, like we talked about in DIY sesh was like, you can write it on a piece of paper. You can, you know, do little things like that. Or like, you know, you're playing pool at the bar, you know, they got that chalkboard in there, write Flat Earth on the chalkboard. Maybe that's your name while you're playing pool, you know. There's so many little things that you could do to just get the thought into people's heads. And the more of us are out there doing that, the bigger of an impact it's going to have. And now they're not going to be able to ignore the flat earth. Like, because right now they're trying to tune us out, and they're like, no, we have our music, we have our space films, but eventually we're going to be so loud and so obnoxious that they're going to be like, crap, what is this? You know, and people are going to have to take attention to this, you know?
Right.
So, yeah.
Do I call you by your name, or you want me to call you RealWalker?
You can call me Steve, you can call me Realm, call me whatever. Yep.
Yeah, whatever, Zoomer.
All right. I was talking with a guy last night, and it was pretty interesting conversation we had. But he was like, "What's your ultimate?" I can't hear anybody.
Oh, don't worry about it. You're good.
All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, he was like, "Well, what's your ultimate goal?" Right? And you know, and I was like, "Well, I want to get people to know that they're lying to us."
Yeah.
And so he was like, "But really," he's like, "It's more than that, isn't it? It's about, you know, finding the truth." And you know, like I just think that like we should, like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. It's you know, we got all these people making comments and stuff, and I appreciate that. But what the heck are we getting? Like, I feel like it's like, you know, I don't want to, like, what is this going to be, a 10-year project, 20 years? I mean,
hopefully not. Hopefully not. I'm like, critical mass needs to happen within 2 years tops. That's what I want. That's what we need right now. You know, like
Now,
we need to be thinking like now. Yeah.
That's a good goal. See, that's a goal there. You
Yeah.
just set a goal. So now we know how to work towards that goal.
Yeah.
And something I was thinking of doing, and I'm going to probably follow through with this, is have an activist seminar in November, probably up in Allentown, northern Pennsylvania. Because the New York people were saying, oh, well, you know, come back. And I'm thinking, no, train you to do it yourself, because I can't do that 4-hour trip. So I think that's what we should be doing, is doing something bigger on a bigger scale and getting people like one-on-one. And what, at a seminar like that, we could do role playing. We could, you know, get them to interact with us.
Yes.
So, and
fine. You know what then, Marilyn? Marilyn, I'm sorry to interrupt. I have to, though. But if that's the truth, if you want to go on a bigger scale, doesn't that mean we need like freaking tons and tons of money? And
no.
We don't need money.
Wait a second. Wait, before you say no, you put a giant billboard. You put a giant billboard on the bridge going from Philly to New Jersey, right? Whichever one that is, with the 100,000 cars on it driving every freaking day. That's gonna beat my freaking 4 hours standing out on a boardwalk like a schmuck being ridiculed. You know, not that it's a big deal. I enjoy doing it, and it's good to wake up people. But the fact is that if we could do that in 20 places, people would be. It's planting the seed.
No, you're right. Work smart, not hard. You know, like we gotta
do all of that. I'm not saying you do one thing and forget the others. I say do all of it. And David, if that's your idea, then that's what you should head up. And I'll head up the seminar. And Steve,
that's good. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We can do it all at the same time. Maybe even at the seminar, we can get donations to do the billboard.
The problem is money, though. The problem is that when you get money involved in this, everyone starts becoming like, who's making the money, right? Who is profiting at this point? So it's like we're in a circle, a loop of hell where.
I mean, there's got to be a way to do it in a transparent manner. Like, for instance, like if we set it up, like not even like GoFundMe, let's just do direct. Like, let's like contact the billboard company and say, we're going to divide our payment between 25 people, and 25 people are going to contact you and all pay their half.
Yes.
And that way the money was never in our hands. It went straight to whoever, you know? So there's got to be a way to do it like that.
If I send you guys the billboard people information, like, I mean, I don't care where we go or who wants to, but I have a couple contacts that I used to use that shut me down.
Yeah.
But remember, but if you guys, and I don't even know, I think, you know, wherever the highest, like, you know, you want the most, see, I kind of have experience in it. I would love to be involved in it because, you know,
that's your baby.
You can, you know, you like it's really easy. Actually, it's not that hard. It only takes like half a brain to figure it out because there's a number of eyeballs that drive by. They show you the number of eyeballs that see it and all. And then, you know, these remnant billboards that are, like we spoke about, our unsold inventory are cheap.
Yeah.
So I love your idea. So we could call up, we could start it up, and then we could start up a GoFundMe page, and we could, like, I would rally the hell out of that because, I mean, I'll contribute to it too. But you know, honestly, I just,
you know, honestly, whatever needs to get done, David, like it's gonna get done. I mean, the best reasonable option is what we're going to take, and the people know what's up. Like, people out there already see the stuff going around in the flat earth community, and the he said she said stuff, and all the drama unfolding with that. But you know, we're already knowing this, and we're just trying to make an improvement on this. So we're calling you guys, everybody in the chat, everybody out there in the world, help us. Like, we don't want your money, we don't want to get rich, we don't want none of that, but we want to make things happen. So
Yeah.
tell us the best method of action. Show us what we need to be doing to make these events unfold in a better manner. So yeah, I mean, we're going to listen to the community and see where that takes us, and we're just going to kind of follow along and do our best to keep this transparent and make sure that stuff is actually getting done, because that's what's the most important thing here, is that we got to take action. And here we have Authentic Intent. Thanks for joining us, Josh. So can I introduce your channel? Have you talk about your channel for a second? And everybody kind of already, went over their channel and what they do. So wanted to give you the chance.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, guys. Appreciate everybody being here. Everything that everybody does here in the chat, the panel, and out in YouTube land in the chat box. Thanks for stopping by. I guess, yeah. 3 years ago, I was, driving, and it went to recommendation, autoplay, Eric Dubay, 200 Proofs. Started listening to that. 2 years later, about or so, probably year and a half later, April 26, 2017, I went out during the March for Science that was kind of being promoted throughout the country with Bill Nye. They ended up having a location here in St. Paul, Minnesota, at my state capital, and I had quit my job a couple days prior on April 20th, and I figured, well, let's just do it. And I used the tag Authentic as my profile for most of my gamer tags, and then I felt like, there has to be a genuine intent, even though, a lot of people out there think I'm more abrasive than others, or like I'm sarcastic or whatever, but that's just me. Like, you're getting me. Like, I'm not pulling a script, I'm not doing anything out of my character or anything. So like, if you want to hang out with me, like, that's the type of person that I am. And so you're really seeing the authenticity of somebody who has lived 3 decades in this reality and has figured out that there just really isn't anything right with this place. And It really stems from, I did my own personal investigation on cystic fibrosis, which I was diagnosed with at 3 months old. Found out there is a link between cystic fibrosis and selenium mineral deficiency. They're not going to give people a selenium pill every night. They're going to treat them as if it's a genetic disease. If you look into Joel Wallach did a lot of stuff on CF, selenium, and cancer, and so on. And that was actually one of the tipping points for me personally, when I kind of resolved that in my heart, that CF Foundation is literally taking money from people and not giving them, the selenium.
Yeah. Are you kidding?
So,
sorry, I agree.
Yeah. And I've done activism twice for cystic fibrosis. I've done activism twice here at my 9th District Federal Reserve Bank here in Minneapolis to inform the public about taxes and stuff like that. So the future of Authentic Intent, I hope to, as a foundation, right, Earth, with Flat Earth, but also I think more observationally, the public can see chemtrails, and you can actually look into 5G, and there is evidences to show what 5G and 4G have done to the human body over a period of time. So even if people want to deny Flat Earth initially, you can just point up to the sky and show them chemtrails. So,
but they're being taught as real clouds now to kids.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh,
yeah,
God. Yeah.
It's disturbing, but we just got to keep pressing on, and we can't lose heart. So
Hey guys, I want to introduce FlatEarthCity. Even though he's not really like listening in live, he's listening in the delayed YouTube session. I wanted to introduce him and have him go over a little bit about himself and his channel real quick. So hold on one second, guys.
All right. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Tim. You're the walking billboard, right?
Yep. Well, that's what I got now. So I got into Flat Earth. I was going to church every Sunday, driving into Chicago for this large church with about 2,000 people, and they talked about end times a lot at that church. So I went on YouTube and was looking up end time prophecy, and I found out that every month or every week or whatever, there's a new end time prophecy that's happening. So I realized that that's just another conspiracy that's going on out there. And then I started getting conspiracy, like Mark Sargent came up, and I clicked on Mark Sargent's Flat Earth Clues, not knowing what was going to happen. And then this turned out into being, that was 2 years ago. I've been doing this. Doing my research, I found that Zion City, which is 2 cities away from where I live right now, was a flat Earth city all the way through the 1950s. So I've been going there and doing research at their historical society, at their library, and that's where the bulk of my research is. And then doing filming the stars and their locations in the sky and stuff like that. I got a March 6th last year. This year I posted a video of Venus and Mercury both up in the sky, and have a good selenium video of one of the solar or lunar eclipses, and
Good.
that's what I've been doing.
Awesome. I love your little the placards that you wear. They're awesome.
Yep, and I bought a laminating machine, so they're pretty good for all weather now.
Great.
I could go out in the rain and still survive doing.
I don't think you have to be that diehard. Awesome. Great. I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad you all are here. It's so great seeing you. Almost in person. No, in person. No idea. That's great.
Good enough.
It was great.
Oh, thanks, Tim. Yeah, Tim's awesome, man. Yeah, I honestly, he's my motivator, man. He's the one who kind of inspired me. Like when we first started doing this, like we had our first meetup, and then after our first meetup, him and another buddy of ours were talking about going out and hitting the streets and doing some activism and stuff like that. So yeah, I already had the flyer. I had the first trifold edition ones made. And then those I was just like leaving in different places. But he was like, let's hit the streets and just pass them out. I was like, yeah, let's do that. So we like straight up like hit the streets, and then that was it, man. It was like the rest was history. So yeah, man, freaking awesome.
Yeah. And people will look at a colorful brochure. If it's colorful, if it has pictures, they'll look at it. Same with the banners, that I use. They have colorful pictures. And anybody can look at that and say, oh, look at that. They'll take interest. And a picture says 1,000 words. So I strongly recommend that you use some sort of a banner with pictures on it. I originally got the idea from the UK banners that they had up. And so I did mine on the 200 proofs and just stuck with that video. But I added a few more things in. But I think that's really good to be able to teach and show them something. They have no idea what it is. You say flat earth, they think, oh, a religious nut, but really there's something to it. And unless they have something to look at and see, and you can teach them what it really is, and no, the sun is not 93 million miles away, and here's why, then they can comprehend that, hey, maybe there's something to this. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, definitely. So I wanted to cover our second topic, and that is what kind of we touched on already, was what can we do to improve activism today? So what is it that we as activists, you out there too, who are actually doing stuff, can do to take our activism to the next level, to reach more people, to improve the fluidity of the conversation with people? Because that's another thing too, is like, as you go out there and you're communicating with other people and you're giving them like little flat earth tidbits here and there, it's like, you got to learn how to work the conversation. You got to learn how to introduce certain topics of interest, because each person is going to be interested in different things. One person might not care about this or that. So you have to learn to tailor to each specific individual. Actually, I was listening to Roxanne Glenn FE channel, and she brought that up too, and that was a really good point, because it's like, we're out there, and there's other people who want to do this too. So it's like, it's all about self-improvement. So what can we do to make it easier to get other people into activism and also do activism itself? So do you guys have any thoughts on this topic?
Yeah, who wants to go first? I'll go first.
You go first.
Okay, so my way of doing it is to take control of the conversation right away. Because I say, can I give you a 30-second elevator speech? And this one guy says, I'll give you 15 seconds. And I said, I'll take it. And so I lead them over to the banner and I start to teach them what it is all about, because they have no idea what it's about. So once you go through this, then they say, oh, well, it's different then, isn't it? So like you can even overcome their objections. You can cover some of their questions in your talk. A lot of times they go right to the planets and the stars. Their mind is like out there because they're thinking Big Bang, and Big Bang created universe with everything, all at one time. And it was all on the same principle, where flat Earth is different, and it's contained, and it's all different things, and they were made differently. So you have a communication gap because they're thinking in one set of terms and you have to translate it. It's like from French into Greek, I don't know, everything is Greek to me, but so you have to realize that they're not going to get it right away. So that's why I say you have to teach. You have to teach them what it is first.
Yeah.
And then you have a basis, because they're going to just fire things at you to throw you off track, to make you look foolish. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to give up their foundation.
So Marilyn, do you have like your preferred method or order of teaching, getting them to, running down the spiel? Like, do you have a specific order that you go by?
Yes, and that's how I ordered the banners.
Mm-hmm.
I put those pictures in an order. I have one that says lies, and that's more like informational. The other one is on censored evidence, and that has all like a lot of negative stuff. Look what they did here. Look what they did there.
Hey guys, just
go ahead, Dave.
Wouldn't it be more efficient, rather than talking about this, just to, like, if you want to do that, and I agree, I think it's a good idea what you guys are talking about, but wouldn't it be just more efficient to write up a format piece of paper that, in your opinion, this is the way you do it, and then Steve does it his way? Because I think different people are going to gravitate to different presentation methods.
Yes. Yeah.
So rather than us tell everybody how we do it, because it's only, my problem is that, we only have, I don't want to spend so much time on stuff when, where if you have it in paper in front of you and somebody really wants to do this, boom, they go to your website, they print it out, and now they have somebody holding their hand a little bit. But I mean,
so is there any way we can set that up on your on your website, David? Can we have like a order of approach for people, just kind of like a go by sheet, for people to download, or a PDF or something like that on your website?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I want to make a quick shout out to anybody who I haven't looked into it yet. I can probably hire somebody, but if there's any flat Earth people out there who are good at websites, I don't mind even paying somewhat, some money to get it done. But my website has been it's not even worth, anything. It's a joke, and it's embarrassing, but I just don't have the time or now the technical ability to build it myself. So if I don't hear from, I'd rather have a flat earther work with me on it, someone who's interested in this stuff. And
Flat Earth 101. Flat Earth 101 will help you with that.
All right, cool. I'll check him out.
Yeah, and if anybody else wants to help out Dave too, definitely message Dave, go to his channel, talk to him, and let him know if you guys can help him out.
By the way, I don't even think I would do anything that says this is the way you're supposed to do it. I just say my tips, you know what I mean? Because from my experience that I've had, I can tell you, from the day I first went out there to today, there's a decent change in, where you get better at it. And I think a lot of it is just through experience. So, if I think the biggest thing is just getting the people out there, in my opinion. But
yeah,
because, you can stumble through it, you can make a fool out of yourself, but then when you make a fool out of yourself, you're going to learn from it, because you don't want to be a fool. So, you know, it kind of forces you to.
This is what we were doing, was telling how we do it. So this is your turn now to say, how do you do it?
Yeah. What input do you have? I mean, aside from the you know, ordering up a good go by for improving activism for other people or yourself or whatever. Dave.
For me, the thing I like most is simplicity. Oh, who are you talking to? I'm sorry.
To you.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I just like simplicity in terms of, I found that my best sign that attracts people is that big flat Earth. It's like real simple and it's huge. I have other ones, but they don't bring the people to me. People are like, who is this? You know, people, but I mean, it works. I know Marilyn has on her signs 100 different things, and it's very confusing from a distance, but you can still see her title from a distance, which is good enough, and she'll have crowds of people. She had a crowd of people yesterday, 20 people at least. I'll post it soon. So anything works, I guess. You know what I mean? And maybe you know. So I don't know, but I like to verbally say some of this stuff and try. It's so. I don't know. I don't know if there's a formula for this that is the best. You know.
True that. This is sort of like uncharted waters, and we're just kind of like figuring it out as we go here. So I mean, everybody's kind of in the same boat. So that's why we're doing this. Yeah, just to give everybody a chance to see if we can add something to the mix. So how about you, Josh? What about you? What can we do to improve activism today? What is your suggestion?
Well, I think the best way to, you know, kind of help the idea and the message branch out more is to have good teaching material. Like I think the brochure that Andrew came up with, Friend of Yahweh, is really good. Yeah. I was going to come up with my own, you know, months prior, and then Jeff, local flat earther here, he suggested the flyer, and that's a basic like flat earth 101 right there. And so the best part about that is people, whether they agree with the information or not, are going to take it with them and then probably present it to somebody else that they know, like a friend or a family, maybe a coworker or something, right? And then they're going to teach them indirectly without even knowing it through the brochure. You know, so that's really the best way that we can kind of just do it as of right now, because
I like
it's just such a new topic for people. And if we're able to get something that's just really simple 101, you know, flat earth stuff, then possibly they'll come back and maybe ask questions. I've never had anybody come back, you know, and ask me questions, you know, a second or third time, email me or anything like, hey, I talked to you at the lake a couple of weeks ago. I was wondering about this, that, and the other. I have accepted my role as a person that is just out there to take the brunt of everything and take the insults and take all this stuff. And then they just go off onto their own. And so I don't expect to ever have a conversation, you know, with those people again. I would love to, but that's just not my role. My role is to present the information and then have them branch it out, you know. And so whether you agree with the concept of the 100 monkey experiment, that is really what we have to start to understand, because we, as you know, most flat earthers, I guess, are starting to have an understanding of what gravity is. And it's more of an electromagnetic type of a plane that we live on, where we live on the ground and the ground is grounded. And as you know, go higher up in elevation, there's more an electrical type of charge. Yep. So the military has been manipulating the ether for probably hundreds of years. We probably have an understanding of how to understand the ether. And with that being said, our thoughts are involved in the environment of the ether. And so if people are going around talking about flat earth, they're putting that out into the ether. And so those who are privy to that type of information, those that are wanting to learn about truth, they're going to hear that and it's going to resonate with them, because truth resonates with you. It has a particular frequency, whereas if you're not ready for it, you're going to reject it. And that's fine. You're just not ready. But you better hope that you're ready at some time in the future. But those people who are ready for the truth, then those people are going to be the ones to go out and then promote it like us, you know. Yeah. And that goes back to what Marilyn was talking about, and I had brought this up with Steve a couple of weeks ago also, is we have to get into some kind of a teaching aspect with new flat earthers who are nervous to go out and talk to people, and do some role playing and get them comfortable with the typical 5, well, what about ships going over the horizon, the seasons, and all this other stuff that you feel that you could feel more confident about explaining, and then they can go out and then they can do it themselves, and then they can communicate that. So it's really like, as people here on the panel and the people that are out in the chat room, your role. And it's just to harness that and then to own it, and then just don't be something that you're not. That's right. Just really all it is. And that's what I have on my Facebook. If anybody thinks that they're something when they're nothing, he deceives himself.
Yeah. So, Josh, I have a question, Josh. You said about comebacks, but have you never sat at the park and a group of young kids walked by and mocked you, and then they came back the other way, and then they stopped with a question? See, like yesterday, there was a group that went by and they mocked and they wouldn't stop. And I said to David, they'll be back. And lo and behold, they came back. And I think they said one thing or two things. And then they kind of hovered over at the other store and were looking. And finally, they came over. So it takes a while sometimes for them to think about it. But yeah, we get that. I get that, and I can recognize it when they go past. I can tell who's going to come back.
Yeah.
And the other,
well, let me I guess clarify. I'm not saying the same day. I'm saying, like, I talk to somebody and I give them, the brochure or my card, and I tell them how to contact me and stuff. And then, like, the next day comes, I'll never hear from them again. I'm talking. I've had plenty of people walk by, look at the sign, and come back, come up with some brainy question that they think is going to stump a flat earther. Yeah, that happens all the time. I'm talking about a person who takes the information, goes home, and looks into it, and then contacts me afterwards. That's what I'm saying. And I've never had that before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually do get a couple responses. We have a email address on the bottom of our trifold. So occasionally I do get some pretty wild responses on the email there. And sometimes they're good. Like sometimes, like one time it was like we were doing the Chicago festival. Which one was the one on Chicago Avenue? Westfest. Yeah, we were doing Westfest, and we were passing out a bunch of flyers there. We got rid of like a crap ton. But during that process, whatever, one of the kids that came up and asked us, because I remember the kid who came up and asked us for a flyer, I guess he went home. His mom was a flat earther. So she emailed me immediately, all caps, mind you, it was like 2 paragraphs. My son just came home with this flyer. Oh my God. Like, I can't believe it. I'm so happy that there are other flat earthers out there. I'm like really happy. And then she just talked about her experience and how she became a flat earther. And it was just so beautiful. And it was just like that's how we affect people. I mean, it may not be directly, maybe indirectly, but it trickles. And occasionally I do get a few feedbacks that are positive, but mostly if you look at the Red Pill Gmail response, it's a lot of negatives. There's a lot of drink bleach and that sort of mentality going on. So
speaking of that, hey Steve, speaking of that, right now, if you look in the chat, I don't know if you guys have been watching.
Yeah,
there is like a complete conversation about shills, and Karen B was called a shill by Kennedy, who I've had a conversation with, like, on my own email. I don't mean to throw it off topic, but
no, it's good.
There's so much paranoia amongst us, and I mean, it's understandable because I believe there are. You guys, do you think there are shills?
Sure, people that want to destroy us.
Yeah.
Or government agents.
Yeah. Well, whatever you want to call them, it's the same thing, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm who I am. Okay. I can only do what I do.
Right.
And if y'all out in YouTube land,
right,
whatever you do, you can't discern the difference between me and somebody who may or may not consider themselves as a flat Earth mainstreamer.
Yep.
Right.
Then bye.
Yep.
I mean, I don't care. That's my point. Like, I do what I do because I can't trust anybody else to do it better than me.
Josh,
that sounds like I'm on an ego trip or whatever, but I'm not going to have somebody, go about their business and deliver information about a topic that I'm passionate about, and then just accept what they have to say. If I have something to say, then I'm going to go out and say it. And if people resonate with that, then they do. And if they don't, they don't.
But Josh, do you think? But do you guys think that? I think it's almost like a stage. You go. Maybe it's like a little, because there was a point where I was freaking out. Anyway, I don't want to get off topic about this.
No,
stuff.
actually, you're totally on topic, because the third topic of conversation is how can we build a better world with activism, and why should we care? And that also involves the future of flat Earth, and is it dead on YouTube? Because that's the one thing we're talking about here, is that there's a lot of he said, she said. Oh, what I'm starting to dub hashtag high school flat Earth is, this person is a shill, this person is legit, this person is a shill. Why don't you talk about this person? You're a shill if you don't talk about this person. This is what I'm talking about. This is the hashtag high school flat Earth. This is kids who just became flat earthers that are getting all emotional about the world and then turning on themselves because they have no construct of the community. They have no understanding of what flat Earth really is about. They're still doing their own experiments, and they're still discovering flat Earth. So what we want to bring up here is how ridiculous this is. That this is why hashtag flat Earth activism is a new thing, because screw all the malarkey going on online, because none of that is important, right? We're out there doing activism, and you should be too. And if you're spending your time working out who's a shill and who's an agent, well, there's no leaders in this movement. So if you're saying don't follow that guy, don't worry. Nobody is. Nobody is. We're not following anybody. Nobody's following nobody. We're out there following ourselves. The truth. The truth is the Earth is flat. So what are you going to do about it? You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Sorry to get it off all heated, but David, I totally feel you, man. This is exactly what I'm talking about, is that people are out there. They're all tapped into this, like, dumb, ridiculous way of looking at things, when there's a more important issue at hand and everybody's overlooking it. It's the elephant in the room. What are you going to do about it?
Right.
So yeah, sorry, Josh. I know you were talking about that too. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're good, man. Let's be real here. You're going to call Mark Sargent, ODD, Patricia Steer, and all these people, you're going to call these people shills, where they're the ones delivering the content. I don't see anybody who's calling somebody a shill come up with their 50 flat Earth proofs. So if you're gonna call somebody something and then you're not doing anything productive in the community yourself, then you have an agenda. Then you have a particular preconceived notion that there can't be any genuine people in a movement as massive as this. And this goes all the way back to the women's movement and the black movement. This goes all the way back to just Antifa last year when I was doing live streams about the Black Lives Matter. You're going to have people who are 5 or 6 people who are shills, who are being paid by the government to then draw genuine people into the movement. So then those 5 or 6 people, they branch off into like another group of 3 people, and then they're going to draw more people, genuine people, into the movement. And then these 3 people are going to draw more people. And then those 3 shills, right, they're going to branch off into 1, 2, 3 groups. You see what I'm saying? So they spiderweb off.
So Josh, what is the point of these government shills then? Because all they're doing is waking us up. If they're, I believe they exist. So this is a controlled rollout, right? Is that what this is?
I think so. Yeah, and I have no problem with that.
But why?
Still, that's my role.
But why
this place has an uncanny reason. It has to tell on itself. I think it has to display and tell what is going on in the background, so that those with the discerning spirit have an opportunity to do something about it. And as we continue to be passive about the things that are going on in this reality, like that alleged shooting at that Madden tournament yesterday, you have to use your own discernment. And if people continually just consent by their silence of how things are and go with the narratives that are being presented to us, then you are condemning yourself.
Right.
Me, personally, I am starting to understand, and I want to help drag people with me who want to be informed. So then we can do something about it. So that then at least our kids will see that they actually tried to do something. Now, understanding that, you know, history can be rewritten and squashed and hidden and stuff, but this is happening right now. And so if there needs to be, shills in the community, then let them do that. But that doesn't mean that me, myself, and I, that's who I am. If you can't see my personal, and I'm not going to speak for anybody else on the panel, I'm just saying myself, like if you can't see my testimony of who I am as where I've come from in the last 18 months or so, and then you still want to call me a shill, or like I'm pushing people away from flat Earth because of my abrasiveness, that is still truth. Flat Earth is objective truth. Now I could push somebody away from, almond milk coffee, like I can push somebody away from not buying an LG cell phone, but you can't push somebody away from objective truth that they can see in their own personal reality.
Yep.
I think everybody's called a shill too. I've been called a shill like quite a few times by people, because when I screw up and I look like an idiot, people say, "Oh, you're trying to discredit flat Earth." So you got Marilyn, you guys, right? You've been called shills by people, no?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So how, we don't even know who could possibly. I mean, it's hard to know. You know what I mean?
No,
so,
it's
anyway,
funny because like that's why I started my YouTube channel, is because I got tired of this person's a shill, that person's a shill. I was like, well, I'm gonna join and I'm gonna do my own thing, and I'll be the authority of me, and then I don't have to worry about who's a shill because I know I'm not a shill. So whether you believe me or not, I don't care, because that's why I do this, is so that I can be the authority of that, and I don't have to depend on somebody else's point of view. So
all right. So basically, we're the shills. So basically, the advice would be, it sounds like from Josh, is just don't worry about it. It doesn't freaking matter. Is that right?
Be your own authority.
Be yourself.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I think that would help people. I think that would help people in the beginning, because you get called a shill and stuff, and it can scare. It's pretty rattling to think that. But yeah, if you just ignore it and you just move on, and maybe that would be something to help people. But what do you got next there, Steve? I'm sorry to get. I felt like it was,
Well, I wanted to take some. I wanted to also go ahead, Marilyn. Actually, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll add my 2 cents in here. Shakespeare said that the world is a stage and we're just merely actors. And it is true. It's about what we are doing. How do we respond as individuals to what's happening in the world? And this is, I believe, a testing ground. Okay. We're being tested all the time. So are we going to fall to this, or are we going to be swayed by that? Or are we going to stand for truth? And in my life, truth and the way, which is love, and life is what this is about. And as long as I, uphold those 3 things, then that is my God, creator, or whatever you want to, so.
Yeah. Yeah, right on. Yeah, well said. So I want to go to the chat and take some questions, I guess. I don't know. It's not as well formatted as you think. So if anybody wants to bring up any topics of interest, or they got a question for us, please go ahead and post it in the chat.
Yeah, I got one.
There'll be a little bit of delay. Oh, go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, Roxanne Glenn, good to see you out there. Thanks for stopping by. Where do you see awareness and activism a year from now? Dave.
Yeah, where do you see it?
Who's he asking?
It's for everybody on the panel, but I just
okay.
point at you.
Yeah, no.
Where do you see activism and awareness a year from now?
For myself, I don't know where this thing is leading. From what I see, I've met on the boardwalk. When we're on the boardwalk, we have met, Marilyn and I, or myself, like 6, sometimes 10 people in a day who are like, yeah, the earth is flat. And more than likely they're not mocking me. They're like, I'll have a conversation sometimes and they know what they're talking about. So like that kind of level of people right now, if you have 6 and 10 people on a boardwalk who think the earth is flat, like if you consider the absurdity of that idea in context to, how we all grew up in a ball earth, that's a lot of people for today. And it's like, you know, I can't imagine this not being like exponential in terms of how, as more people, as the social proof, the social acceptance, as more people believe it, you know, if you got 20 people standing around who believe the earth is flat, and you're talking to one single person who still thinks they live on a ball, that person starts feeling like almost intimidated. It's like the whole group mentality, right? So in a year from now, who knows? But I feel like it's moving rapidly towards critical mass, I guess is what you.
I'm sticking by my 2-year marker. I think 2 years is going to be our critical mass. Let's make it happen.
Yeah. And I would like to look at 1 year or 2 years, but in order for that to happen, you know, if we have that goal, we have that goal. So then we have to make it happen. So what can we do to get to where we want to get? We have to have a plan. We set a plan, and then we work the plan. You know, we plan our work and work the plan.
Hey guys, one more thing I just want to mention. I was speaking with I forget who it was last night. It's like someone who's been helping me out with my legal problem, whatever you want to call that. I don't even like using the term legal terms anymore. But he had said, regarding, he said, you know, the thing is, he goes, I thought that common law, when he found out about common law, and there was a big push towards common law and being a living man, right? And he said, I thought that was going to be the thing that was going to wake people up. It would rip through society, and it didn't happen. Maybe because maybe I think common law though is a lot more intimidating. Like when you have to go to a court to uphold that truth, that's not the same as going out on a boardwalk and just shouting out to a bunch of people. So I might be wrong.
Good point. It's like going up against the beast head itself, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's so, kind of a scary task for most people. So
Yeah.
Well,
not for Josh.
The other thing. Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
All right. So the other thing about that, David, that common law thing, how many people actually get arrested? There's not a majority of the people who are into that. But with Flat Earth, this affects everybody. Everybody's child in the public school is being abused by being lied to.
True.
So they can relate to that.
Very true. Very true. I agree.
Yeah. Well, I think for me, like this is how I hope to plan now that I'm getting a little bit more settled in regards to where I'm living. So I have that that stress is kind of being put off to the side a little bit. So I'm able to focus more. And that's another thing too, is like people who are in the Flat Earth community, and I don't mean to bring this topic up again, but maybe just to use it as context. But if you are focusing on who's a shill and who's accomplished things in Flat Earth and who hasn't accomplished things in Flat Earth, that's a lot of energy that you're putting forth to create something, you know, whether you want to call it drama or, you know, look at me or look at this person, they haven't done anything. And it kind of branches off into like, okay, now I'm a flat earther, now I have to do something about it. And I think that puts a lot of pressure on a lot of new flat earthers, or, you know, maybe people who are new to the community. That just might not be their role. And I get I live vicariously through you, Josh, when you go out and do activism, because I can't do that. But what they do is take what I do good and then throw out what I do bad that works for them, and then they present it to their own friends and family themselves. You know, so I think that there needs to be a lot of pressure taken off of new flat earthers to go out and accomplish something in the flat earth community. Whereas people here on the panel and the majority of the people out in the chat room right now are starting to mold into their roles, because me, amongst a lot of people out in the chat room, are like 3 years into this. So we're seniors in this, you know, we're veterans in this community. So we do have a particular role now that we have embraced, maybe indirectly, maybe it wasn't our purpose, but we are an example now. And so to kind of go from that, I'm going to start going to I'm going to be significantly close to the University of Minnesota. And I'm going to be hitting up the university quite a bit. And I got a guy here, Chris, right? And I got Lois, and we got a couple other guys that are going to be coming through here in the next couple of weeks to do activism. And if we show consistency at the university, or a university anywhere here in the state, then we're going to be able to affect the kids. So if the kids, the college students, start to be, you know, questioned and challenged about flat Earth, globe Earth, and outer space being real, we're going to be able to use them as a means to present flat Earth into the classroom. And then they're going to start bringing it up to their teachers. Now, if from now until that time comes to the end of the school year next year, the teachers, hopefully, I mean, this is just delusions of grandeur, right? But the teachers then start feeling pressure, because you then have teachers who have a conscience. They're still human beings. And then they'll be scratching their heads and be like, okay, so if outer space isn't real, then why am I teaching this to the kids? And so hopefully, right, I mean, the teachers will wake up and question the school board. So it might tarry up into that, where there will be genuine school students who hear about flat Earth, challenge the teachers, and then the teachers realize what is being taught isn't necessarily, you know, true, and then they start challenging the school system. So a year from now, you know, maybe the school system needs to be challenged more.
Yeah, I could see in the future kids walking out of school on a day saying, official flat Earth walkout day. We're protesting that nobody's speaking about the flat Earth or talking about globes.
I'd like schools.
I see that day
I'd
happening.
like schools to be freaking. I would like schools to be just almost abolished at this point, because you know it becomes an indoctrination for whoever's in control of those things. And I'm sorry, but like anybody who has that much power, and the parents absolve themselves of abdicate the responsibility to another group of people, and then that group of people eventually is going to use that power in their own best interest. It's like inevitable. So to me, it's like schools need to go. They're bad.
Homeschooling is where it's at. I mean, honestly, a lot of parents don't have the time to dedicate to teaching their children, but that's because they're stuck in the matrix slave system, the same slave system that keeps them so occupied that they don't care that they're being drugged and duped from every angle. So, you know, that's the fight that we're fighting. It's like we're trying to get people out there to detach themselves from that world and actually start taking part in the real world and caring for your children. And place and a roof. Like some people have it within their means to make those. For the rest of us who it's harder, you know.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
you know, I also, just real quick, I saw I was reading on the pamphlet to find out when school starts, because I want to go out to the school for sure and you know, wake the young kids up hopefully. But I think we're going to talk about that later. But when I was reading on the webpage, you know, they literally tell people when you can go on vacation, what you can do. What? Like, where do I live that now a school is telling me when I can choose my free time and how to spend it? Man, this place is insane. Makes me crazy.
To add?
Go ahead, Marilyn.
Okay. So, Josh, can you hear me, Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. You were talking about having expectations of people. And you know what? I have a different angle on that. I think if we have low expectations of other people, then we will certainly reach them, you know, and they will not rise up to the standard that you are setting. So my thought on that is that everyone can wear a t-shirt. Everyone can put on a flat Earth t-shirt, and you don't even have to open your mouth. You can just walk around as a human billboard and say, research flat Earth, or, you know, I have a very nice design that I wear when I'm doing activism. So everyone can wear a flat Earth t-shirt. And you know what? I'm going to say this. I expect every flat earther to wear a flat Earth t-shirt, or to wear a button, or look at the
Marilyn.
Quiet, David. I'm not done.
Hey, I just want to.
I have a necklace on. I have a necklace that you can get from Flat Earth 101. David gave it to me. Not this David Zoomer, but Gessner. He gave me this necklace. So I don't have a t-shirt, but I have the necklace. So everybody can do something. Okay. I don't accept that you don't have to do anything, because I don't want anybody to sink to that level. I want you.
Yeah, you're right.
Marilyn, Wait, can I just respond one thing?
Go
All
ahead.
right. But just watch it, buddy.
Just one thing real quick. Like, you know, rather than like you can.
Go ahead, Dave.
Oh, okay. It blanked out on me. Rather than being like so many t-shirts you can buy, and like what they do is they include profit for the person who's promoting that particular t-shirt. So rather than making it so that there's quote freaking profit involved, you can get these t-shirts made where you could probably be able to sell them at cost at $11, or you buy them and have and like. But my point is that you make it as affordable as possible, but maybe that should be something where like we figure like, and it needs like the boldness of the letters, like a t-shirt. People put like write a book on their t-shirt, and you don't get the idea, man. People aren't going to be reading your freaky t-shirt when they're walking past you, but it should be almost like a membership now. I love your idea. I actually think that's the best idea there is, because you could identify, you would start to see people who actually think the earth is flat, and it should be like, this is what you wear every day until this thing comes down. I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like some of the shit we're saying is so insane and crazy to expect people to do it. Yeah, you could have a hat too, but like, or maybe you would consider everybody, you know, it's done in a specific color, right? But so that way, a color plus the flat Earth, and you'll be recognized quickly. But I don't know, Josh, what happened? So
I got a text from somebody saying that we're stealing their ideas. Like, because that's the other thing too, right? Like, over the last year or so, we have seen an inflation of t-shirt selling. You know, like, hey, check out my t-shirt. It's funny. It's quirky. It's $30. You know, so like, so if the t-shirt's $30, like, what's the difference between the cost and what you're profiting off of it? Like, are you trying to make a living off of it and stuff? And so, yeah, I mean, I can see how there can be people in the community either in it or you know, Globey type side, and they can question and say, okay, so you're using flat Earth as a means to make, you know, pay your cell phone bill every month. And so I think that if we use, you know, maybe this panel and some people out in the community, because I know a couple people here locally who would be into that, yeah, giving away flat Earth t-shirts.
yeah,
You know, there's a lot of material. I burn DVDs, okay? I put DVDs, probably like 18 to 20 videos on one DVD, and I sit here and I burn them for 30 minutes each DVD. Okay, so like I'm using my own materials, you know, and donations that I've gotten from the community and stuff. But all the material that you see at the table that I use, it's all free. You know, so I think that if we were to just be more transparent as a community, and if we did come up with t-shirts, maybe we would just come up with a group, right, flat Earth t-shirts. Yeah. And we have it all pulled in.
Yeah, and if there's any other flat earthers out there that actually own t-shirt printing companies and you want to do giveaways and something like that, you guys should definitely be doing that. Like, you know, get your resources together, write it off, you know, as a tax thing, whatever you got to do, help us out. You know, if you have these resources, I'm not saying like, but I'm saying, yeah, you know, that's what this activism thing is about, is what can you do personally to contribute. We all have our own strengths and weaknesses. Some of us might be well-versed in the law. Well, there's our legal aid. Somebody might be really good with printing or any other. There's our resource material person.
Hey, Steve, just so I don't get everybody hating me. Yeah, I agree. Like someone just commented that it's okay to make a little bit of money. Like what?
Sure, because, yeah, I mean, I guess.
Because
it costs money to drive out to these places.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah,
I like to eat.
I do agree. I feel like, you know, we should compensate these people, obviously, who are putting these resources in. But I mean, that's where we have to come to agreement as a community too. We have to learn to appreciate each other. You know, coming from an artistic perspective. So this is my argument with the whole profiting off of whatever thing, is that when you're an artist, you're creating things for the world, and then you got to make a living being an artist, right? So you have to profit off your art. So, I mean, if we're out here doing stuff or whatever, nobody's trying to get rich doing this stuff. Everybody's devoting every dime and resource they have to make it happen. So it's a lot different than even the artist. And I still feel, you know, like like the artist thing is totally reasonable, but in the flat earth community, that would be shunned 100%. If somebody just made a living off of flat earth 100%, people would shun them out the freaking window. So we have to, as a community, come up with an understanding that some people out there need to survive, and we need them doing this 24/7. So if that involves us supporting them or making donations or helping them pay their rent or whatever the crap that they need, let's help them out, man. Like, don't be stingy. Like, we're out there fighting the good fight. And if you see somebody doing a good job and they're out there making efforts and you see them suffering, don't let them suffer until they fade away. Like, the whole point is you got to keep the steam going, right? So keep these people alive out there that are suffocating, trying to burn what they can to help the community. So that's just my side of it, whatever. So, yeah.
So, yeah, I have something to add with that, is that the banner that I had, the Lies banner, I had it on my trailer and I was driving down the road and all of a sudden I hear this blump, 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 blump kind of thing. And I look back and the one banner, the tape gave way and it went under my tire. So I took it home and I used magic marker and it turned out pretty good. And I used it after that. But then I told Dave Gessner and we decided to improve it a little bit and make up a new one. So when I got the new one, I asked Josh if he would be willing to take a slightly damaged banner, but it was still in good shape. And so he did, and he's using it. So I gave it to him for free,
Yep.
and there was also Mac from Canada. He was having a rough time. And I said, listen, Dave, we need to do something to get Mac, a little encouragement. So we made up the same Lies banner, but just a little smaller. And we sent that to him. And that really encouraged him. See? So, those are things you can do. And I wanted to show the hat because this is a business card. And all I did was take Gorilla Tape and it taped it on there. That's my hat. This is not a professionally made hat. I bought a hat and stuck the freaking card on there. I don't care what you think about it. I don't give a darn.
Yeah.
This is me. It looks good. So you can do anything. I don't want to hear any excuses from people that, I can't afford that. Don't give me that garbage. Get your butt out of there.
You guys are
walk the couch and get out there.
You guys are making me want to heavily consider doing donations now on my page because I only have so much funds to do this, and I really want. I love the idea of a Flat Earth T-shirt that if I hand them out to people, and get people, even if they don't believe in it, and one day they wear it just because they're going on a trip somewhere and they're doing, they might wear it, but I don't know. That's all. I just think that it's a good idea.
At the seminar that I'm thinking of doing, pretty sure we're going to do it in November. I was going to have that kind of an idea. So we can talk about that, Dave. Good idea.
Yeah, I'm writing it all down.
Yeah.
Well, most flat earthers and most people, who are kind of in the truth community, they understand that it costs money to do stuff. And even before I became a content creator on YouTube, and I didn't understand the editing process of videos and stuff, if we're doing like a 5-hour video out at the lake, 6-hour video, that 6 hours creates 3 to 4 hours of content that you see. So there's a lot of editing that needs to be done. There's a lot of time that goes into making a video and putting it out, not just the time that it takes to drive to the location, be there, and then drive home.
Josh,
so the money. What's that?
Are you monetized?
No, I'm not monetized. No, the only time
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying the only time my videos do get monetized is when I use copyrighted material like songs and stuff.
Okay.
And then other than that, when I first started back in my Facebook days, I was just going out and doing everything. And then I got suggested, hey, why don't you put up a PayPal? I want to donate money. Hey, why don't you start a Patreon? I can't donate, every day, but I'd like to donate every month. So it's like, okay, well, and then that's why I have donations on my, description section, because people requested that they want to donate, because you got to figure, like, there's not a lot of people that are able to go out and do this. This is like missions work. You know, people donate money to missionaries overseas all the time. You know, so how is that any different from me using my missions field here in the States? And so if people can live vicariously through me or you, Dave, or you, Marilyn, and Steve, and they enjoy what you do, then give them that option. Don't take that away from them, because they have a family, they have a job, they can't get out and do what we're doing, and they want that option to donate. Because money, we work for money. Like, we use our hands and our mind to work here in this reality. And that means a lot. Your votes don't count in politics, but your votes do count in terms of money and where you spend your money.
Yeah, and money is just energy too. So I mean, essentially, what you're doing is you're helping whoever out with energy, giving them more time and more efforts. You know, I'd love to quit my job and go flat Earth full time. That would be amazing. But you know,
right.
yeah.
So wait, with that said, Josh, like, to me, it seems crazy. I'm not sure if I can even monetize yet, but I think I can. So
Yeah.
wouldn't it make sense for me to monetize so I can then use that money I could give it to freaking people who don't have enough money? I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
monetization isn't enough money, man. You need over 1,000 views to get $1.20 to $1.25.
Yeah.
all right,
For
so it's
1,000
still a buck.
views.
It's still a
And
buck.
you're also giving money. You're giving money directly to Google and the advertisements. Whereas if I post a video and I have a song on it, then I'm choosing to have that song monetized. You know, like, okay, yeah, I guess I'll bite the bullet so that I can have the video. Somebody's watching me with Michael Jackson, and I understand that the video is going to get monetized. But if I click monetization for my videos, which my videos that are a year old, I do monetize those. But any videos that I have now within 2018 that I'm doing, I don't monetize. So so that's the only time that I do monetize, because those are videos that are a year old that I did, you know, so long ago, and they get like probably 30 cents a month.
Yeah, I got my channel set. I think it's like set up for monetization. I'm not even there yet. I'm only at like 700 such people, but yeah, like I already know that there's no money in it, but it's set up for it. But I like your suggestion of having like the older content with it, and then just keeping all the new fresh stuff unmonetized or whatever. I guess I'll figure that out when that time comes.
Yeah. Yeah, a year from now, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
There's one other subject. Are we taking questions, or can I say something here?
You can say something, Marilyn. Go for it.
Thanks. Oh, you're sweet. Okay. We live in a feelings world. Okay. What the government has done as part of changing our society has been to take everything and put it in terms of do not offend me, and how are you feeling, and so we have to like tiptoe on eggshells to not hurt someone's feelings. So when we're out there doing activism, especially, we are offending people, and the Bible says, you know, you're going to be scorned and mocked for my sake, and his sake is telling the truth. Okay, so I want to address this feelings thing. It is a very bad thing. If you tell the truth, then you are feeling and you are respecting someone far much more. If you lie to them, you hate that person. That's the way I'm taking this, and Scripture will back me up on this too. So to lie to somebody, you hate them. But me telling the truth, I am showing that person respect and love. Okay. So, I think if we say things in within the flat earth community, okay, I am only saying it for the betterment of the movement, the betterment of growing the community. So I am not saying anything in order to hurt someone's feelings. Ultimately, I'm going to do that because I do that all the time. It just comes spilling out. I cannot help myself. So the truth just comes out, and I don't have those touchy-feely sensors or whatever filters they call them.
Filters, emotional filter.
Yeah. So if you're going to ask me a question, just be prepared that you're going to get a straight out answer. And if you can't handle that, well, I'm sorry, because it's going to come anyway. Okay. So when I'm thinking of activism and what I think is the best approach to activism, then I'm going to tell you. And I have a darn good reason for telling that. And I have thought this through, and I've had experience. And so this is why I'm saying these things. So I'm not really talking to anybody here right now. This is something else that's going on, I think, because I'm also very sensitive. I can sense things. So I think there's something going on in the community where people are being divided, and oh, that Marilyn, she said something and it hurt your feelings. And then somebody will recognize that, and they'll come along and they'll say, oh, yes, I think you're wonderful and you're doing everything perfect, and schmooze their way in. When really what we need to do is critical thinking. We need to think about what we're doing and why we're doing it, and look at things in a more logical, critical manner. So that's kind of telling you about my personality and why I do things. And if I've ever hurt anybody's feelings, it was unintentional. I did not directly do it to hurt your feelings. I did it constructively to help you. So that's my thinking. You can just ignore me, or you can tell me to go pound sand. I really don't care. I'm going to do what, the way I think it should be done. And I'm going to tell you why I'm doing it. But, ultimately you have to figure out your own way. You do. Yep. You have to figure out your own way. So I like things about other people's methods, and I dislike other things about people's methods. There's so much I could say.
It's great. All of us here, we all have kind of our own style. It's pretty cool how the sort of the ultimate team of Avengers here. We all have our own little way of getting the word out, and our own little quirky fashion. And I like mine. And
quirky. Quirky is very good.
Yeah, I consider myself quirky. I don't know.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah. So,
but Zoomer's not quirky at all.
He is in his own way. He is. when he gets frustrated with people that he's dealing with, he does a really great way of softening up the situation and keeping the conversation rolling. So I love his style.
Yeah, wait till you see the video from yesterday. I was almost getting.
She went in full general mode.
Let me say something about this. Some people have called me general, and I don't know why, but my mother, when she worked in corporate America, she was head of the janitors and the telephone operators and the cafeteria workers. So she had everything in line. My mother's very by the book, and they called her Sarge. So I guess I got a promotion from her nickname.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and we all know who the real talent behind the RealWalker channel is. FlatEarthCity. I mean, because without him walking around with the billboard, we're not going to get any attention. People are going to just walk by and not even notice us. So thank you, Tim. Thank you.
I love Tim. I love how he's straight up. He tells people, he's like, the earth is flat.
The earth is flat.
It's just a fact.
He's amazing.
Is he listening in or no?
Yeah, he's on delay though. I think it's 10-second delay.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
He cracks me up every single time he says it. I almost every single time I laugh because it's just so matter of fact.
Oh man! And
what you got next on your list, man? What you got next? Let's keep this thing rolling. No?
All right. So let's see. Oh, right now I wanted everyone to have a chance to bring up any sort of topic of interest within the community or within Flat Earth. So let's start with Authentic. Do you have anything to add as far as not that where we're going as far as the community, but what are our goals as flat earthers, today?
Yeah, and then I'll have to step away. I got life is catching up now, so I'll finish with this, and then I'll say goodbye to everybody. But
All good.
I think that as you know, gosh, flat Earth is kind of the cherry on top, right? And from that point, we need to start filtering down to the things that really matter. The things that really matter is the human race. Okay?
Yep.
This reality hates the image that we are created in.
Yes.
And it is going to do whatever it takes to eliminate us.
Right.
It doesn't matter 200, 300, 400 years from now. That is its goal, is to eliminate the human race and to rise up things that are inorganic, particularly AI. Now, whether you agree with artificial intelligence, bots, and all this stuff, maybe that's something that you need to investigate in the future. But there is a direct correlation with artificial intelligence, 5G, and chemtrailing that's going on right now. And it is very important that not only people start to grasp flat Earth, whereas, yes, the Earth is not a sphere in outer space, but these are observable things that we can see. Chemtrails. You can look at what 5G is going to do. The FCC themselves said that they're not going to test 5G technology here in the States. They're just going to roll it out. So I think there needs to be a sense of urgency with flat Earth. For me personally, I'm going to start talking more about 5G and chemtrailing along with flat Earth so that I can try to start to correlate the two, because we can talk about I can talk about flat Earth all I want, but if we don't have some kind of a solution at the end of what we hope to do, I think that there needs to be, kind of like go with the flow, like kind of see what happens, but also have kind of an idea of a game plan of what we would like to accomplish at the end.
Sense of urgency.
Hey, Josh, just real quick. I just spoke with someone last night, and just something regarding the 5G. It was a really cool point. In the movie The Matrix, the beginning of it, he goes like, when he's like in the room, I think he goes, there was a war after the beginning, and he goes, and the skies were burned. Do you remember that part? I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yep.
But he was like referring, like that's like, I mean, that Matrix was pretty prophetic, I think, in terms of what's going on. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely. No, you're good, man. Because 5G is going to be used to help AI communicate with itself instantaneously. So now it's working off of different signals and stuff. I don't know. 5G is something that you all need to look up, and you need to really start to understand what 5G is as a flat earther. So because you're talking about the Earth. Well, if you're talking about the Earth, then we need to start protecting it. And 5G and chemtrailing is definitely on the docket in terms of like goals and where I see flat Earth kind of moving towards. I do feel quite disappointed with how our parents and our parents' parents have silently consented to how the Earth is right now. And we're allowing a lot of things in the human race that are basically eugenics deemed. You will never find a virus out in the wild that will turn itself to its and destroy itself. Okay, my point is viruses procreate, and in the human race, there are particular groups of people that choose not to procreate, and then those agendas are promoted where flat Earth isn't promoted. You're not going to ever see flat Earth, hey, I'm a flat earther, blah, 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 on, your latest CBS, TV programming. Nobody, but you're going to see their agenda that's being pushed on these sitcoms. So that that's really where I'm at right now is I see so much going on in terms of mainstream promoting ideas that are eugenic based.
Yep.
Where over a period of time, if this lifestyle continues, we're not going to have any more human beings. and they're not going to be born organically through a female in their womb and out their vagina. Okay, that is going to be a lost idea in the future if we don't, as a group of community here, do something about it and start, being more active in regards to that. Because once the majority of the population of the human race starts to be born in a laboratory, I
mean,
I
flat
don't
Earth.
even know if those people can be saved.
Do you guys know that? Do you guys know that the creators of the Matrix? Do you know that the creators of the Matrix turn into? They're now women.
Trans,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's crazy. That's part of what you're saying.
Yep.
Yeah, and they might
It's
even have been manipulated, in a sense, without their knowledge. Who knows?
Well, and that, go back to, again, that's shill behavior.
Yeah.
So what's happening with that is kids see that, and then they think about it, and that's inception. That's a thought. That's an inception of the mind.
Yep.
You're putting that thought into a child's mind where 5, 6, 7 years later they start to doubt. And that is, what is that term where you try to change somebody's reality? I can't remember what that term is off the top of my head, but they're
Inception.
yeah, I mean, they're getting them to a point where they start to question who they are and what they're all about. And in my idea, that's demonic, and
Yeah.
that's a terrifying thing to say to a child, that just because you're born this way doesn't mean that you have to live that way. That's just how we were made. Those are just the by rules of this reality, and that is show behavior, where the society lifts up that type of a lifestyle where there's no procreation. That type of a lifestyle is built on lust. How can I get off? Because that's a drug to a lot of people. The act that is used to procreate has been turned into a type of a lifestyle. You know what I mean? So they're promoting the perversion of the
addiction-based
act.
acts, yeah, like anything that keeps you occupied and distracted and addicted and bogged down, so all your energy is depleted and you have no energy to do anything important in life. That's their plan. That's what they're working towards.
You're pretty good at it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. So with that all being said, I know I'm long-winded, guys and gals out there, but I really appreciate you here on the panel. Dave, Marilyn, Steve, Tim.
We love you, man.
Love you guys too. Thanks so much.
Yeah, wait, before you go, Josh, 2 things. I think, how is your activism since lovely Lois has joined you and now you have one other person? Because I think it's really good I've been out alone too, but I think it's a whole lot better, at least if one person is with us. I think somebody backing us up, having 2 people is better than just by yourself, isn't it?
Well, I see where you're coming from with that, but I was listening last night to after it was streamed live with Roxanne Glenn and all those guys over there. Somebody kind of made a point as to if you can't, you got to do flat earth activism by yourself to start.
Yeah.
Right.
That helps you gain confidence, helps you understand the negatives that you're going to hear, like, oh, what about, the seasons? How does the sun traverse around the earth? You got to do it yourself. You got to have those challenges.
And it conditions you for, the stress level factor. Because when you're on your own, you don't have somebody there to alleviate the stress. So it's all on you, and,
Right.
and you got to keep your cool, you got to stay straight. So
yeah, and so I think that to have that foundation of going out by yourself and talking to strangers, you don't have to film it. That's your own testimony. That's between you and our Father. So you do that by yourself and get that confidence, and then when you do go out with other people, you're not dependent on them to come up with some great response that's going to get these people to believe in flat Earth right away, right? So I think it is important to go out by yourself, but yes, over a period of time, I think that a collective group of intelligent, like-minded individuals regarding flat Earth is a powerful organism. So,
yeah.
And one other thing, before you go, is about the colleges and the school boards. I know you brought up the colleges, and that was something I have on my calendar for September, like from a couple months ago. So I do want to get out to a college in our local area. But even tomorrow night, I was going to go to a school board meeting. And there you have a few minutes where you can just drop a bomb and you can leave, you know. You can ask the school board, hey, show me the curve. You know, just show me the curvature and say I think you get 4 minutes at our school board meeting. But everybody can do that, you know. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm not going to be able to do it tomorrow night because I was just called out of town for tomorrow now with my family. But yeah, those are things we could all do. Your local school board.
Yeah, definitely. So let me interject real quick, guys. I saw a really awesome comment here from Roxanne FE. She said,
real quick.
Go ahead.
So I got to go.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
So I hope you guys continue. I'll be listening while I'm driving around, but
yes,
I just won't be able to do live here. But I really appreciate everybody out there. Thanks for allowing me to have this platform to speak my mind, and I hope to have some more videos to come out. I do plan on going out here later on this week with Chris and Lois, and having Mikey Smith come out on the 1st to do some activism. So got Canada represent at Minnesota. And yeah, so just appreciate everybody's help out there. Jeff out in the chat room, all our local flat earthers and everybody else who has supported the Authentic Intent channel and then just done their own thing with their own channel and their own content. And just don't let the trolls and the detractors get to you, because that is what their design is. They're designed to keep you, to plant a seed of doubt, to make you question your own reality, to make you think like you're an idiot. So just keep pressing through, guys. Thanks so much.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks,
Love
man.
you.
We love you.
All right, love you too, guys. Bye.
Bye.
So jumping back to what I was going to talk about, Roxanne FE, you pretty much hit it on the head. She's asking, can we ask if we discuss the merits of group activism and individuals' pro and con of each? So merits of group activism, that is like really important. We haven't touched on that yet, but you know, one thing that we do not think is okay is going out and telling people you're an idiot if you don't believe the earth is flat, or screw you because you don't get the earth is flat. You know, like, we don't want people doing anything like that. If you're going to do activism, be respectful, talk to people on their level, treat them with dignity and respect, you know, and give them a chance to speak as well. Don't just like, you know, blast through them and don't, you know, give them, you know, a breath of air. So, you know, those are good, I think, you know, ways to kind of approach people, you know, in a respectful manner. Do you guys have anything to add to that?
Well, I don't know if I should say it because I did call somebody an idiot once.
Well, okay, so let me double back.
Let me tell you the circumstance, so then you'll understand.
Okay.
This guy came up to me and he said he has a doctorate in physics or something, and I'm there. Well, you know what? You don't know this, so you're an idiot. You know, it's like, if a real scientist, the one thing they can't do is reject evidence. So, yeah. And he wasn't even willing to look at the banners and let me, you know, show him. So I'm there. Well, then you're an idiot, you know.
But the thing is, Marilyn, dude, I called Kyrie Irving an idiot. Was the first thing I said when I heard him. You know what I mean? So it's natural response, because you're you know what I mean. I mean, I'm not trying to. I understand why you said it, because I probably thought it, and I think I've said it too. Maybe I've gotten arguments with people, but if you really think about it, to be told the Earth is flat for the first time, if that's the first time you hear it, what else can they think?
Well, see, I'm not out there to convince anybody. I think there's some people who think, oh, well, we've got to convince them. No. I'm only there to speak the words, and if their ears are open, this is what Scripture says. So if you don't think that Scripture has any merit, then you're going to miss this whole thing. As long as, and when I see people walking down the boardwalk, I say flat earth, flat earth, flat earth as much as I can, because the words are getting into their ears and it's in their brain. Yep. And they've heard it. I have the theory that, and this is proven, you have to hear something 3 times before you take it seriously. So if I'm number 1 saying flat Earth, that's number 1. Then I know it's only 2 more times they have to hear it before they're going to actually take it seriously. So flat Earth, flat Earth, flat Earth. That's what I say all the time. And there's a method to that. So there's a reason, you know. So when educated people, they're like a brick wall, and they're going to tell you, right? No way. No, no, no. You're not telling me dog poop. I'm going to tell you something. So yeah, you come at me like that. Hey, you're meeting a brick wall. You think you're a brick wall? You're meeting one. So I'm going to just break down that brick wall. And yeah, I'm going to kick out the bottom foundation and say, you are an idiot. You are uneducated. That's something else I've told them. No, you don't know this. You are uneducated. And they can't handle that. But you know what? They're going to remember it, aren't they?
True that. And true that, just like we discussed earlier, there is no really wrong way of getting the information out there. So yeah, maybe I'll double back a little and I'll say this. We're human beings out there doing this. If we're stressed out, whatever, you're going to act as you're going to act. And we shouldn't be, thought of any more negative than whatever, because we're still putting the effort and we're good, kind-hearted people that are just trying to improve that. So, it's a process for all of us who are out there doing this anyway. So I remember a couple times I've looked over to Tim and said, man, I can't handle this. This is really stressing me out. And he's been there and we just pile through it and everything works okay. So, it's a human experience. We're all out there working it out. We're figuring it out as we go.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's friggin' keep moving forward here. What do you guys? What's next on the agenda? What are we doing? What are we talking about? Because
Roxanne asked a question about group and single activism. So when we go down to Ocean City, we have about 6 or 7 people who go to Ocean City, New Jersey. When we were up in Times Square, New York, throughout the day, I would say we had 20 people coming and going, but they were all like around there. So if somebody were to make a comment, somebody heard it. And it was so Angie, we had Angie there and she spoke Spanish, and every time I heard somebody speak Spanish, I'm there, Angie, come over here. So she could speak to them. And
hey, Marilyn, regarding what you're saying, like at that time, if we would have all had the same T-shirt, then we would have looked like a group of people. See, we're all kind of being fragmented with our own T-shirts, our own websites, our own this and our own that. It would have been so much more powerful if we were wearing, like, I don't care if it was pink, whatever color it is. I think I really want to get the T-shirts bought soon, because I think even for events, when we're there, if we have 10 people, if you have 10 people standing around with T-shirts, people are going to notice that.
That's true. That's true. Something that shows that you're a group.
Yep.
That you're not alone. I think alone in that regard, 2 people can come up to you and think, oh, let's bury this girl, and then they'll come and attack me from both sides. I don't think they're prepared for what I give back. But if you could show that there's a group, because I know there's a difference. I sense that there's a difference when there's a man in our group, like near me, then I can sense that men treat me differently. So, but
hey,
then,
with what we're saying, couldn't we possibly unite with all the big names like Mark Sargent, all of them, and see who would be up for saying it's time for a standardized T-shirt? It's time. Stop freaking everyone being so, and then that's
well, I don't think that's gonna. I don't know. Maybe the standardization might be because now you have a definite target for people. People should see Flat Earth as sort of like a reality for everyone, not a group, or an actual association.
I cannot get any of those celebrity videographers on YouTube to even promote activism. After the conference last fall, I wrote a nice lengthy letter to Rob Davidson. And I said, hey, what was this conference supposed to be about? We can see everything you presented on YouTube. So why did we come here? Right. I said, this was supposed to be about us and training us to go out.
All right, fine. Then maybe not them, but how about D Marble? And because I don't think he's quite so connected with them, is he? I don't know.
Well, I
But
mean, I get what you're saying. It really doesn't matter who is promoting us, but yeah, there are people out there in YouTube right now that have really great channels and they're very well known. They should be promoting activism, not
They should.
us particularly, but just
no, but no,
doing
I'm not
activism.
saying
Yeah.
promoting us. I'm saying
Yeah.
you get a T-shirt that just says "Research Flat Earth." It has a certain color and it
Yep.
has a singular website that we've all said you can then go to that website too, and then you can then go to all the supporting websites are listed on it. So anybody who's participating in this would be part of that website. But there's an overall singular one freaking flat Earth website that any legit flat earther is going to say, yeah, I'm on it. Because if they're not legit, then obviously they're not going to want to be part of it. And or maybe not legit, but it seems very strange that they wouldn't want to be.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna research that for this Saturday, David, and see if we can't get something that looks cohesive for our group.
Cool.
I do want to speak on defense of one other major flat earther that's out there doing stuff, and that is David Weiss. And I know a lot of people might not think whatever you think. I don't care. He promoted flat Earth activism recently on one of his shows, and he actually even talked about his personal experiences in activism. So the fact that it's starting to get spoken of, maybe we're making more of a splash than we think. Maybe people are starting to see that activism is the future of flat Earth.
I think he was here, no? At some point, wasn't he?
Here on the chat, maybe. Yeah, I think I did see him.
DITRH, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was here. I don't know if he's here. I mean,
he's very
on here.
very pro activism. You know what I'm saying? And then we need more people like him who have the clout, who have the the potential to reach that many people and get more people on the activism thing. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create a splash to get people to focus on activism. We don't want we don't want to be divided. We don't want to fight each other or shield each other into a corner. We want activism. We want truth. We want flat Earth to be a reality to everyone. So yeah, that's the ultimate goal here. We have to wake people up. We have to. So if you do have a channel of that greater, you can touch that many lives, please promote activism, get the word out. And then, like I said, David Weiss, amazing. He promotes it. He's had me on a show for activism. He's, talked about authentic intent, all that stuff. Yes, go ahead, Marilyn. What were you gonna say?
Allegedly, Dave, I have utmost respect for him because
awesome guy.
Yeah, and he went out and he was right out there. So he was a celebrity type, but he put himself out on the line with
we could contact him in overseas too. I think it should be freaking a worldwide one where everybody, it's one, and maybe it needs to be a certain color, so that way it starts to be identified. That particular color, bold, and it's got to be simple. As far as a T-shirt, I'm stuck on the T-shirt idea, but allegedly Dave has a big following, I think, and he's out there all the time at Speaker's Corner, so I
respect that.
Awesome. I want to give another shout out. Flat Earth Fokker. Everybody knows who he is. Mac. We just talked about him earlier.
He just sent me a text message that said, "Keep up the good work," or it sounds.
Same here. Zane. I hope everybody knows Zane's music. He kicks ass too, man. He makes good truth videos. I don't know if everybody knows him.
Yeah, Zane is phenomenal. If you don't know,
you have to look up. If you're looking him up, you have to literally type in Zane Flat Earth, or if you just type in Zane, it doesn't come up.
Right.
So crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, and then of course Roxanne FE, what they're doing out there, the John Smith Global Eye and all those guys, they're coming together and they're doing some amazing work out there for activism too. So we want to make sure we give a really healthy shout out to those guys because
they inspired me.
Like I said, John Smith inspired me. He's the one who like really I watched his stuff and I said, yeah, this is a feasible thing. I can do this. And I grew balls, So So yeah, those guys are out there and they're killing it. And I'm so jealous that you guys have so many activists to work with and you're so, such a big family. I'm a bit jealous, like we have a good family here, these guys.
It's come, man. It's coming soon.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
So yeah, here's hoping we can grow to your guys' stats. So we really appreciate what you guys are doing out there. So much love. Yeah, for sure. So yeah,
DITRH said something really important. He said, "I would rather talk to one newbie than 100 flat earthers.
yes,
However, it is essential that I get to personally know 100 flat earthers." I agree with what he's saying. Like my channel, like it's kind of like a waste in a way, because the only people who are coming to it are people who already know the earth is flat.
Yep.
And like, so the educational, I should almost be just putting out people's educational stuff, because it would make them, because they bury that stuff right now. You can't even find the good videos anymore.
That's why I started including little tidbits in my episodes, because
I saw that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that too from now on. I'll try to do that more often, because maybe that's a way to underhandedly we can get it in a little bit of the truth, and maybe I'll start putting the people's. I'll actually include their video, you know, their type, the link to their channel or something right there.
Well, that's what Josh was doing. He has really clever videos where he puts in clips of what he's talking about in the. So that's a good way to fill that in.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Josh he's the man. He's done a lot of groundwork for us here in the United States. So we're very happy for him. You know, he's an amazing dude. Yeah. So anything else, guys? Should we cover anything else? Is there any more questions in the chat?
Schools.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hitting schools.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. I really wish, I mean, well, there's so much stuff to do, right? But the schools, man, the young people are so much more open-minded, I think, than the older people. And I mean, I think it might even get on the news, or there might be confrontations if we get out. I'm going to find out what's the public property line, so I can get right up to that line and be right at if I can be right in front of where the buses are dropped off, that's where I'm going to be. And I'm, you know, I want to be standing there. But, you know, if we could have like 10 or 20 people doing that when school, you know, you could literally make compilation videos where, you know, there's a bunch of, you know, each different location where, because the kids are only being dropped off for a second, they're going to walk by. But if we have the pamphlets, we hand them out the pamphlets, we tell them their teachers are ignorant, they're only parrots, you know what I mean? The teachers, they never investigated this stuff, and it's time to wake up.
Hey, if there's anybody out there who wants to design a back-to-school flat Earth flyer, to put that out there, that would help us out a lot. So for those of you out there who are artistically and psychologically inclined to create such a thing, please do. So yeah, go ahead, David.
That's it. That's all. You know,
are there any questions? Are there questions on the chat thing?
On the chat, okay. Scrolling through the chat here. Lots of great support from lots of beautiful people.
Suggestions.
Suggestions. Yeah. If you guys got anything, go ahead and post it now.
You got 8 minutes. Oh, 7 minutes.
Yeah, Karen B does graphic design, and much love to Karen B out there. FE Viking, much love to you. Flat Earth Comic, dude, you guys got to check out his channel. It's crazy. It's awesome. Yeah, who else we got on here? You know, we already talked about Zane. You know, yeah, deep inside the rabbit hole, everybody knows that, and if you don't know, you're insane. Suggestion. Whoa, yeah, Positively Godless is suggesting some very negative things, so he can just go home with that.
Yeah, no thanks.
Flat Earth Vegans, much love, guys. Hey, here's my my vegan drop. You guys out there who are flat earthers, if you're not thinking about going vegan, you should research it. There's tons of information out there to show that there's just as much as a conspiracy to the meat industry as the earth being round. So look into that. Yeah, for sure. What else we got?
Thanks, Apollo Sun. We appreciate you too, man. You're always working.
Yeah, Apollo Sun and Spherical Cow. Yep. Much love, dude. He's a homie. Yeah, what else we got? Yeah, so I think the chat's kind of leveling out. I mean, you guys want to taper off? Want to add anything else to the live stream?
Well, I think I've covered it all. You know, keep looking for that seminar. I think we're going to just do that, and so keep looking for that.
Yeah. I have one thing that I want to say is that, you know, I'm hitting the boardwalk, but in Point Pleasant still, but that's going to come to an end soon. And I can go anywhere in like the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. You know, I don't want to go more than like an hour and a half. Marilyn travels an hour and a half to see me. But if anybody listens to this and wants to contact me, you can hit me up at David@zoomtruth.com, I guess, to to tell me, that you wanted to get together, because I would like to do that. Get the more people who are with me, I think the more impact we make when we go out there. So,
David wants to jump on the stream. You guys okay with that? Can I invite him on?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. David, give me a second. I'm gonna check my email and see if he emailed me.
I'm going to say that too. I also have the offer out for anyone that I know. I have to meet with you ahead of time, but I will bring the banners to you, to your location within an hour and a half or so of my location, and come and set up. So if you want to go to a flea market and buy a little space at a flea market, I will come and set up the banners and we can, hit your area. So, yeah, so take that. I tried to give that offer out, and I'm offering it to anybody else in the tri-state area, right, Dave? We'll get Dave to come with us.
Yeah, heck yeah. Well, we're going to be in Ocean City, New Jersey, right, on this coming Sunday?
The 2nd, yes. It's Sunday, right.
Yeah, this coming Sunday, September 2nd, that is.
The 2nd.
So, and there's going to be, I bet you there's going to be at least 5 or 6 people there, maybe more, right?
Right.
So that's another good one.
Yeah, 10 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, we're going to try to be there 10 o'clock in the morning.
I think early is so early, though. There's not as many people on the boardwalk, but whatever.
David?
Don't worry. You guys do it.
David?
Yeah, I hear you. Well, it's your gig. We'll do it.
Well, you can come at 12, you lazy bum.
Well, I'm going to. Lazy. All right.
David, if you're listening right now, please email me at redpillchicago@gmail.com, and I will give you a link to the live stream.
Oh,
so yeah.
If he's on Hangouts, then you can just add him.
Oh yeah, actually, do you know his Hangout name? Hold on, let me jump out. That's a good idea. I'm gonna just look it up.
You don't? Yeah. I'll look too. TRH. So, in the meantime,
tell me how to put the comments up running. Do I have to have a separate window for that to happen?
Yes, you have to open up a separate window, and then I just figured out finally to probably make it smaller so that way, it's not always on top of the actual video, because it gets a little confusing when you see different people talking.
Well, maybe it's better that I didn't have that distraction.
It's a little weird.
So here you. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I was trying to locate Dave.
Well, you know what?
You know what? He just hit me up. All right, we're good. We're golden.
Okay, because we can
work, man. You're good at this stuff. You are really strong. It would take me hours to figure that out.
We are golden and sent. So Dave should be joining shortly. All right. So back to the topic at hand. We were.
What is on your list? Did we really cover everything on your list?
We most definitely did. We started off. We went over activism, the future. Oh, future of activism. We kind of touched on. How to improve it today. We touched on how to build a better world, and why should we care? Why should we care? I think we've touched on that, and if you don't know why we should care, then you got a problem. And then, yes, take questions from chat. Yeah, I mean, we hit everything, and then we went over everybody else's. So, as soon as Dave hit, David Weiss jumps on. Go ahead, Marilyn. Yeah, what were we going to say?
Yeah, I had a list here from the other day when we were talking, and
beautiful.
Yeah, the 30-second elevator speech. That was
yeah.
But everybody needs to rehearse this, and you rehearse in front of a mirror. You go in your bedroom and you shut the door so nobody can hear you make mistakes. And you rehearse in front of a mirror. That way you get to see your own facial expressions. See how you look to others. And then you get a 30-second elevator speech about flat Earth. And you have something in your hand, like one of these cards or one of these cards, and you just practice a 30-second little speech, and you say, here, you can look it up. Have a great day, and you walk away. See, you're dropping a bomb, but you're giving them some information. So here's the other guy.
David!
Hey, what is going on? Hold on a second. I'm trying to get my earpods to...
Yeah, do your thing.
Oh, so that's what he looks like. Okay.
That's me.
hang gliding,
1 second.
wind surfing.
What's that?
Are you windsurfing in that picture? What is that act that you're doing? You're
Oh,
hanging on to?
that is kite surfing. Is my image my camera not on here?
Oh, I see you now.
Every once in a
And
while, we
can
see
you hear me?
Now
Yeah.
I just hear you no camera, but before we had camera
Hold on.
and
Hold
whatever.
on.
Hey, David.
I'm just.
There you go. Perfect.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Hey, what's
What
up,
were you
Dave?
thinking? What's on your mind? Where were you thinking? I
So-
love hearing from you. I love
Yeah.
your
So
thoughts.
thank you. I didn't catch everything. I didn't catch everyone's drift, but I think I got where you guys are coming from, and everybody has different ideas. Like the idea of everyone having the same T-shirt, great idea. Okay, but it could happen. Like if you're all going out in Central Park and you have 50 people wearing the same T-shirt, that's cool. But everybody has different ideas, and everyone's different ideas add to the soup, right? Because there's some ideas that aren't going to resonate with some people. There's some T-shirts that I hate that other people love, but those T-shirts will wake up other people. And by us all getting better at what we do, you know, like I don't like some of the things Mark Sargent did, okay, back early on. But I'm friends with Mark, and I've talked to him so many times that I've suggested things, and he's changed what he's done, and he's given me suggestions along with other people.
Yep.
Where we all get better over time. There's just so many people attacking other people, saying,
Yeah.
you know, you're horrible what you do. Well, I lost my sound again, but
No, we still hear you.
yeah, no, it's rather than that. It's I love when people give suggestions like, hey, you know what? I think doing this is better. You know, there used to be only a couple people doing activism. Now you're doing it. I mean, I think I discovered Authentic Intent was like the first activism guy that I saw, and now Roxanne. Now her style is don't even talk to the people. Let them come to her. That's good for some people. Dave Murphy, a little more engaged. You guys walking around with the sandwich board, you know, super nice attitude. Hey, have you heard about it? All of that together, good. If we all did the same thing, it would be horrible. I don't think we would reach as many.
Good point.
And then getting to the conference. The conference, in my mind, is a giant meetup. It's literally the most well-organized, most advertised meetup of flat earthers. And again, 99 out of 100 people there, probably less, but maybe 5% of the people are not flat earthers. That would be amazing if that was the case. But it's
Right.
Let's assume that it's all flat earthers. Okay. What it does is, when I went to the conference last year, I have to tell you, it was the greatest thing I've ever done. Okay, being around, you know, 500-600 people that think alike, that are awake, that are aware. I made friends that will be lifelong friends. You know, I like you guys. I only seen you on the internet. Meeting in person, it has made me more active. It has made me more confident to go out there and talk to people. To in my real life, I have my internet life and then my real life. You know, the conference also gets a lot of publicity, gets a lot of hate, gets a lot of stuff. But, you know, again, I'll quote Mark Sargent, is the conference is, you know, any publicity is I heard. So I think that the conference is a real important part of this. But guess what? So is what you guys are doing. So is this hangout. So are my short videos. So are the long produced videos like ODD. All of it
Right.
just makes us that much better.
Yeah, it all adds up.
But does it turn in? But don't we turn into a giant echo chamber? Like, remember how you said I'd rather talk to 100, or, you know, one person who doesn't know the Earth is flat compared to talking to 100 flat Earthers. And
Absolutely. So that's what I say. You know, like these big hangouts, like I said in the other comment, Globebusters. It's basically you're preaching to the choir. But yesterday, I don't know if you guys caught yet, brought out some great information. If you guys didn't catch how they destroyed the Discovery Channel and exposed them for the frauds that they are, that's
I did.
education. Globebusters is a college course in flat Earth, and it's giving us all the ability to respond to these trolls, you know, and ball heads and shills, whatever you want to call them. It's giving us the information. So yeah, they're preaching to the choir, but guess what? The choir needs preaching to. I need preaching to. All right. So yeah, you know, like I make my short videos because if you're a ball earther and think flat earth is ridiculous, you're not going to watch an ODD video. It's too long. You're not going to watch one of your hangouts. They're too long. Okay. But you might watch one of my 2-minute videos, which might just entice you to watch another one. So my short videos, along with, you know, other long, well-produced videos, along with activism, along with, oh my God, there's a conference, along with the billboard that we're putting up at the conference. All of this is putting flat earth, flat earth. One of you guys said it before, flat earth, flat earth, flat earth. It keeps going. I forget the girl's name, but you were saying it. As long as you just keep slamming them with flat earth, they're going to start looking into it. So making us all the same, it's not going to work. And I hate the idea, but feel free to push it because in some cases it does work. All right. What I hate doesn't matter. It matters if you can get somebody to like what you're doing.
Yeah, but you know, hey Dave, Dave, the thing is that that's completely wrong. A McDonald's brand is known internationally throughout the world because it is a singular brand. Now,
right. So
I'm not telling people what message to tell. I'm just saying that if we have a brand and people then throughout the world, they will know that brand through the color, through a very simple logo. And then I don't care what offshoots go out and how you say it, but the branding, I know a little bit about branding, not a lot, but I do.
You know what? I'm not saying that you're wrong. What I'm saying is there's too many people in flat earth to get people to agree on a brand. It's just not going to happen.
Oh, no, I'm with you. Yeah. I'm not saying it's mandatory, obviously.
If you went to McDonald's, I know the McDonald's brand and I will never go there. If you went to McDonald's and they served you a prime burger today, instead of getting a quarter pounder of cheese, they gave you a really prime grass-fed beef burger with fresh vegetables and everything, and you ate it, then the next time you went, you're going to hate it, okay? Consistency doesn't mean quality, right? They're consistently a bag of shit.
Yeah, but that's not my point. I agree there. My point is that you only have to glance at the M and the arch, and you know what it's all about. And
again, I agree with you, but guess what? You know what? We don't really have a model. Like someone's going to want this to have the AE map on it, circle map, and other people are going to freak out, and it's going to cause wars. The thing is, let people promote. But again, I forget the guy's name. He did a preachy video the other day, and he called us the leaders, but we're no more leaders than he is. We're all just whoever's got a bigger.
Well, you guys are the people who broke the ground. You guys, you know what I mean. You are. I mean, I don't know what else, but you know what I mean.
You guys are leaders. I don't do hangouts, these long hangouts that you guys are doing. This is fantastic. We're all just out there putting our energy out there, and we're all just getting better at it. But the thing is, the same message won't reach. You know, any message will only reach a small portion of the people. So you got to keep mixing it up. You got some people hate your activism. They hate it. Well, good. Let them go find something else. When I see you out on the street, I turn in and turn it off.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't. So
no, it's okay.
Yeah, and it's funny because I do like the NASA Lies T-shirt. Like I get it. Like that will resonate with certain people more than a flat Earth T-shirt will. So that means we'd be losing an opportunity. But like when I don't know, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. What is the girl's name? What's her name? I'm sorry.
Marilyn.
Marilyn, you said that you have to say it's like advertising. They gotta see it 4, 5, 10 times before they actually respond to it. So I've been wearing flat Earth T-shirts, all different kinds, and I'm convinced that ballers don't see them, that they're actually invisible, that they're seeing like a smiley face and they don't actually see it. But now that everyone's been hit with flat Earth so many times, people are all of a sudden starting to notice my shirts. I was just down in the islands. And every morning I was trying to do a sunrise, but there was always clouds. But I was live streaming a sunrise, and I had my "The World is Flat" shirt on, and people were coming up to me and asking me questions. A couple of them were on the live stream, and everybody was receptive to it. So things aren't like they were a year ago or 3 years ago. They're changing. Wear the T-shirt that you can respond to the best.
Yeah.
And let it happen, because it's happening, and it's happening faster and faster.
I agree. I really do.
So again, listen, if you hate what somebody's doing, my suggestion is do the opposite of what you hate.
Yeah.
Show them an example. You can't stop people from doing things. You can't tell someone to stop, but you can show them a better way, and then either they'll see it or they won't. And if you don't like it, don't watch them, and just focus on what you're doing.
Right.
Exactly, David. And this is what I was saying before, is that people out there need to understand is there are no leaders in this movement. If you have a preference of where you're getting your information from or whatever, that's your personal preference. If they're not saying things that don't agree with you, you do not have to listen to them. You do not have to tune in. The point here is that you should be your own leader and your own discerner of truth. You should be able to go out there and do your own footwork and understand the story to how you see it. And everybody out there who's depending on somebody else, well, I mean, that's the problem. We need more actors and less followers. We need less people just following in line with whatever this and that, and people out there who are actually getting this information out and doing it right. So
right.
Yeah.
With the censorship on YouTube, like yesterday during Globebusters, if you search Flat Earth Live, Globebusters didn't show up, and Red's Rhetoric chat was #1, which just tells you something right there.
Yep.
So I think that street activism is the future of Flat Earth, and I'm glad to see more and more people doing it, like that stuff. Excuse this truck going by. You must have your deliveries of Coca-Cola at the hospital. Because you can't survive
Yeah.
at a hospital.
that'll get them healthy.
Yeah, that'll work.
Without Coca-Cola. And more of this. And by watching you guys do it, it's given other people the courage. You know, I just ordered 20,000 cards. And I actually have on it, it says, "You've been lied to." I can show you the card. Well, I have a card in my pocket, but it says, "You've been lied to your entire life." And the other side is ODD's 21 questions and a YouTube logo.
Dave, can I buy those? Can I buy those myself?
You can on the FlatEarthPodcast.com. If you go to FE Artwork, you can download the artwork, go to Vistaprint, and order away. You know, the artwork's all there, and there's so much fun to hand out. I was literally at the airport this morning, and I put out the brochures that you know, the Earth is Flat, the ones that you use, Authentic Intent. I mean, RealWalker.
Yeah.
And I put those all around the gate area, and people pick them up and they start reading them. And the one couple was talking. They're like, "Man, this is good. This makes a lot of sense." And he's reading them out loud to his family, and it's amazing. So this stuff is working. You know, you can do activism stealth. If you're a little embarrassed, you can do it stealth, and then the conversation starts. But then you become more confident and you start talking to people. But you know, start off stealth. Like one of the things, I've told the story before, I leave these cards. I had all different kinds. And at my favorite restaurant, I would always leave one on the bar, stick one in the menu, leave one on a table. And I did that for 6 months. And then one day I was there with another couple, and we're having who came in from Texas. They're Flat Earthers. And I said, yeah, so I get these cards and I leave these around, and I threw it on the table. Waiter's in mid-stride. He stops. He sees the card. He backs up. He goes, "You're the one leaving those cards." And I go, "Maybe." And he goes, "I found one 2 weeks ago and I haven't slept." He's like, "Holy
wow.
shit." Right? And so you can do these things and it works so well.
You know what I was doing the other day? I was in Walgreens, and they had those the toys. They're like little satellite toys from NASA. I was taking the miniature version of the flyers, opening the box and stuffing them in. So whoever buys any of these toys, they're going to get flat smacked.
Right. At Costco, they have these amazing, well-produced Planet books. You pop up, and they're selling them for like $12. And I know that even if they're costing well more than that, they're selling these things below cost to get them in kids' hands.
Yep.
And I load the book up with cards all the time. They had a skid of globes there. I stuck one in every box.
Where do you get that card download from again? Can you say?
The FlatEarthPodcast.com, and then there's tabs there. Like the second or third tab over is FE artwork. And there's different artwork there that you can download, especially the flyer that RealWalker uses. That's a great one. You can print that one out on your color printer at home.
I'll put David's link down below.
Good.
Yeah. And if you right click on it, you can download the PDF or click on it and then you drag it out of the window. But all of the print ready artwork is there. Those flyers are great, but you know, when you just hand somebody a card, let me grab the card. I'll show you what it looks like. Hold on.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, thank you, David, for coming through too.
Well, and by the way, I'm gonna change what I do when I find a better way to do what I'm saying. And I love other people's suggestions when they don't come attacking. Okay, don't attack. Just say, hey, dude, I love what you're doing, but I don't like this, and this is the way I would do it. Just try that. People are up for suggestions. So this is the front of the card, and it says, "We've been lied to our entire life." And then the other side is with the YouTube logo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And for me, this is probably is one of the best videos to send people to.
How much is
brand new?
How much does 20,000 of them cost?
I had some credit and stuff. I spent like $500 or something.
That ain't bad.
But you can get a box of 500 for like, I think it's under $20. I think they have a free offer where you just pay shipping. But I did rounded corners because everybody loves rounded things.
Yep.
So if you don't do rounded corners, it's cheap. You can, but you spend a little bit of money. But you can get them. You can spend $20, $40 and get a ton of cards.
And my question is, who in the world, in the flat earth world, can't do that? I mean, the one guy we have, that's what he loves to do, is just drop cards wherever he goes. And he has to wait for his wife to walk in front of him in a store so she doesn't see him doing it. But he still drops those cards everywhere. So
I
can't do that.
Everywhere, bulletin boards.
Yeah.
Bulletin boards. And then if somebody is, comments on the t-shirt, when someone says, "Are you a flat earther?" I'll respond, "Are you a ball earther?" I don't know how to answer that. And then I let them ask the question, and I return. I don't come out hard. I'm getting better at it. You ask them a question, you listen to what they have to say, and then you respond with another question. And then you just say, "Hey, take a card, check out the video," and there it is.
Yeah, but when you're out, like in my situation on the boardwalk or whatever, and they want to teach you what the heliocentric model is, you have to stop them right there, or you'll be sitting there all day. Because I went through the same freaking school system, so I know the heliocentric model.
You probably know it better than them too.
I know. I was scientifically inclined, so I can come back at them, but I don't want to have a discussion. I don't want to have a debate right there on the boardwalk.
I got you. And sometimes you have to let them roll and get it off their chest. And sometimes you have to interrupt them. It all depends on the person, the personality, the situation. And guess what? You're not going to get it right every time. You're going to fuck
That's
up.
right.
Yep.
Cool, man.
So that's all I'm saying. And anyone else that's listening out there that has a problem with someone else is doing, don't attack that person.
No.
Show them by example what you think is better. Just show them. Okay.
Good point, David.
I would love, like when Roxanne's doing her big things, if everyone had the same T-shirt on, that would be cool. That would be very cool.
Yeah.
If I can get it done this week, I'll do it for next weekend at the for the beach, Marilyn.
That's a great idea, Dave.
Yeah.
Can I have input into what it looks like?
100%.
Thank you.
Right. There's the other ones. The other cards I have on there where the back is in nice big type. I actually, if I redo these, I'm going to make the front side a little bigger, because I love big type. The other one said the Earth is not spinning, and then on the flip side, it was the Flat Earth Podcast logo and website.
Dave, I feel the same way. The big type is so imperative because, like, you know.
I know. I was in a rush to get them done. They're still good. And people actually have to look a little harder, which makes them focus a little more.
Yep.
It's all good.
Yep.
But
I agree.
Here's the problem I have with YouTube, besides a million other things, is if you send someone to a good YouTube video and they're new to Flat Earth, they'll watch your video, but Google knows that their browser isn't filled with Flat Earth information. Google knows that this person doesn't know about Flat Earth, and Google will suggest a shit video afterwards of Neil deGrasse Tyson and Joe Rogan or whatever. And I've seen it happen. I've tested it on other people's computers.
Wow.
So if someone is really interested, like, where can I get more information? Well, one of you was talking about what's a great website that everyone can agree on. Well, there isn't one that everyone can agree on. But what I've done is I've taken most of the best videos, you know, and there's more, and we're adding more all the time on the Flat Earth podcast page, must see vids. And if you can get someone to go to that page and watch a video, YouTube isn't going to jump in there and suggest a shit video. And there's a whole bunch of good stuff on there. It's all quality videos. And there's subcategories. You could say, oh, moon stuff, you know, NASA stuff, and it'll sort them. The FlatEarthPodcast.com. Then must see vids on the top.
I'll actually put that link down below too as well.
Now, by the way, it's a little difficult to navigate on a phone, on an iPad or a computer. It's much better because it is a big site. But once you know the site and can get to that tab, you can scroll through the videos. You know, if you're sitting on a train or somewhere where you got time and you got your phone, it's all there. But it's a good place to send people that are interested. But it's hard to get somebody new to go there. You know?
Yeah. Yes, Marilyn. Go ahead.
The other problem too is that I don't know how many of you guys. I watch my YouTube vids from my TV because it's linked up to my television. So it's so hard to get people off the TV and onto the computer and to go to that website. But I love that you have that, and I'll try to promote it at some level.
Marilyn, you were going to say something?
And again, I get nothing from it. I get nothing. I was just, when YouTube took down my channel, I lost a bunch of my vids and stuff. So I'm just making a place, because YouTube is literally squashing Flat Earth. They're on the hardcore press for the last month.
100%.
You know, and they know that our browser's full of Flat Earth information, so they serve us up whatever we want. Go to someone's computer that has no idea that the world is flat or that 9/11 was not what it was told to be, and search on their computer and watch the crap results you get.
Yep.
So, we also have a website. It's flatearth101.com, where you can get cards. You can get all the banners that I've used in my activism. So that, and there's also pictures of our activism that we've done. So you can look at that too.
I think I have a page on there too for Flat Earth Chicago. So yeah, he was nice enough to give us our own little spot there. So thank you, David. Yeah.
All good stuff. I'm ambivalent to what website you go to. Just get the information out there. You know, like I say with my videos, take my video, put them on your channel, monetize it, cut my name off. I don't care. Use it any way you want. Use it. You know what I really wish? If somebody listening right now, if somebody would go to my channel and make a backup channel and put every single one of my videos on that channel, that would be amazing, because they're coming after me, and my channel, I know it's going to disappear again.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, man, it's scary thoughts. Yeah, it's like a totalitarian regime.
Yeah.
At some point, you guys. I mean, I think at some point there won't be any Flat Earth videos being shown on YouTube. Is that you guys see that or no?
It's a very big possibility. I've heard reports, and I've been looking into it, that on Facebook they're deleting Flat Earth memes.
Yeah.
I heard it. Yeah.
Where do we live?
Yeah.
So again, more street activism, bigger street activism.
Yes.
And by the way, I'm in Connecticut. You know, next time you're in New York, hit me up. Let me know when you're there. Maybe I can join.
Oh.
Woo.
You were doing. There was someone that was doing it, and CC was there on at Times Square.
Yeah, I organized that.
I'm right outside New York City. I'm in Connecticut. Right.
I organized the Times Square thing.
All right. Well, let me know.
And I also go to Boston because my daughter is up there at college. So I'm going to meet up with you one of these days.
Okay.
That's a promise.
All right.
Awesome.
I got to go inside. It's 900 degrees out here.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, David. Thank you so much. We'll put
And
your
that's
link
because
below.
of the angle that the sun is coming in is heating me. It has nothing to do with the sun is right there. It has nothing to do with the sun.
Yeah, but
right
when
there.
it moves a few thousand miles away, the temperature will drop at least 10 degrees. So there you have
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Thank you.
Thanks. See ya.
it. Much love.
Bye-bye.
Hey, I guess we're all talked out, huh? Do we have any?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Anybody put a question up on that chat thing to address?
No questions here. We got a lot of great people. Just oh wait, you know who just joined us?
No, don't say it. Did the Plain Truth just join?
There we go.
What's
This is
going
like-
on, guys?
What's happening, man? Authentic Intent actually sent him an invite. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. So yeah, welcome to the channel, man. How's it going?
Hey, thanks, guys. It's going pretty well. It's going pretty well. Just driving along.
I want to know, is that what you really look like?
No. I'm that's a much more flattering picture.
Well, you caught us at the right time because we were actually getting ready to wrap things up. But hey,
Well,
since you're here, you know.
Yeah, you still can. I mean, all the stuff I wanted to say, I was screaming into my phone when you guys were talking about it earlier. So
Yeah, let's hear it.
it's water under the bridge. No, I mean, the biggest thing for me is the merchandising. You guys were talking, my song, because it took everything within my being to buy a Flat Earth podcast shirt. I'm like, I just can't spend $30 on a t-shirt. It just does not make any sense.
No.
But I wanted to have something, and so I've been racking my brain. I've got a few designs drawn up, and I'm thinking, man, I want to put this stuff out there, but I want to make it affordable. I want to make it so that people are going to be like, I'm going to buy 10 of those because.
Well, there's one easy way to do it, and that's to have an iron-on patch, and then we can stick it on our own shirts.
Yeah, you want to be professional. Yeah.
The problem with that is just the hiccups that are going to happen when your iron is too hot or there's a bump
Look,
in your shirt.
Men don't know how to do that.
People don't want to wear garbage.
Hey! I take offense at that, Marilyn. I take offense at that. I've seen plenty of shows with I Love Lucy where she burns Ricky's shirt. So don't tell me. Right?
But no, I do. There's no problem if you order in a sufficient quantity. You can buy them at wholesale, no doubt. So we just have to find the right person. Or company.
I mean, I'm looking into it right now. There's a local place. I had them draw up my designs, and they want $1,000 for 100 shirts. But then, it's all like, okay, so what's that going to cost, and what's that going to run, and is anybody going to buy my shirt? So it's an investment.
Why don't you have a pre-order?
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Ooh, that's an idea.
Pre-order is a good idea. Yeah.
Ooh. See,
I like
because
that.
I've put my stuff out a couple of times on different Flat Earth channels, and I'm like, hey, here's my design. I'm interested in starting something along these lines, and there's just crickets. So maybe it needs to be a little bit more polished in terms of what exactly I'm trying to get momentum with. But
the only problem with pre-order, though, I mean, I think it's a good way to go. But the only problem is if you don't ever reach your goal, then you have the whole issue of getting everybody their money back and how that works, and then people get all frustrated.
Yeah, but Greater Sapiens got no problem with what he.
Yeah, he's running a clearance sale on all his items.
All right. No. But anyway, so that's something, and I've just wanted to try to touch base and network with everybody and just say, okay, because I think somebody said during the conversation, if anybody is out there that's got a silk screening business and you're Flat Earth, that's what we need to do. We need to make these connections, and hopefully somebody's going to hear something. And I think we should just have our own centralized silk screening, and just everybody goes through that avenue.
Oh, that's a great idea.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if with a regular company, I mean, if you'll have more buying power if all the people go to a centralized location and it's agreed upon, they would give us a better price for sure.
Right.
Like
But
that.
yeah, but that was one thing that I was thinking about and wanted to participate in when you guys were talking earlier. The other one is just all the stuff you're mentioning in terms of canvassing and what you guys are all doing on the street. You know, I think that a lot of the stuff that you guys were talking about is right on the money in terms of everybody's personality is different, everybody's pitch is going to be different. But I do think that you know, we need to be able to take advantage of standing on the shoulders of others that have gone before us, because a lot of the stuff that I hear from you guys, I get ideas to implement into, you know, my own flavor as well. So it's great to hear what everybody else is doing and seeing what everybody else is putting out as a means of reaching the public. So it's a good.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Yeah, that's great. That's definitely exactly what we're talking about. You know, it's good that now we're actually starting to network as a community in the activism world, because that's one of the reasons why I started this whole hangout session, is so that we can like outreach to all you guys out there and start networking and closing connections so that we can make things happen. And we have a lot of ideas and we got a lot of different directions we want to go, but we all have one message that we all agree on, and that is the earth is flat and people need to wake up and see this. So yeah.
And if anybody's out there who's in Maryland, I've got a Flat Earth Maryland group on Facebook, and haven't come across anybody. So if anybody's out there, you're in Maryland, look me up and let's do a meetup.
I'm going to come down to one of your meetings. That'll be great. I can do that.
Well, yeah, I'll let you know if it comes to that. I mean, I'd love for something to happen. So I'm just.
I have a Facebook Maryland page, and I don't think anybody signed up. I'll look on it, and then I'll send them over to you instead.
Okay. Yeah. I'm north of Baltimore, so that's where I'm at.
Yeah. And if anybody in Chicago is looking to meet up, we have our Meetup Chicago on meetup.com. So look us up, and you can join in on the fun. Flat Earth Chicago, Meetup Chicago. Flat Earth Chicago, Meetup Chicago. It's Flat Earth Chicago.
And we have Facebook pages for Flat Earth PA and Flat Earth New Jersey, where we post our events. And in the summertime, it's usually an activism event. In the wintertime, when it's too cold to be outside, then we just have like a restaurant meetup. But, you know, I heard also that somebody said the malls are now considered the square.
Yeah.
So can we go in the malls and do activism there? I haven't looked into it that much, but I'd love to do that.
Yeah. We ought to do some when it is wintertime. We ought to do a Christmas Carol Flat Earth style.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Use all the tunes and just rewrite the lyrics.
Just turn into Flat Earth tracks. Yeah.
All right.
I'm digging it.
So that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, Flat Earth caroling.
Unite and Create for Life just said, I would like to meet up. I'm going to go on the site. So that's cool. You know, one person at a time will build this thing up, and then it'll just keep building.
Yeah. Awesome.
Exactly. So much love. Yeah, definitely. So you guys want to add anything else to today's conversation? You want to say anything? Anybody else?
No,
I would just say if anybody's sitting on the fence, you know, just take that first step and just suck it up and talk. I was in a courtroom lobby because I had to get a reschedule for a traffic violation, and it was absolutely empty. It was yesterday, and there was an officer there at the scanner, and he was just sitting there looking bored. So I walked over to him, just started the conversation, and we were talking for over 30 minutes, and he just kept firing questions at me, and it was just great. So,
I do the same thing.
Yeah. That's one thing everybody should be doing right now, is that, you know, whenever you're in a situation and you can communicate with somebody, talk about the flat earth, bring it up, you know, at least just mention it. Even if you're embarrassed by it, then do it in a negative sense. Bring it up in a joking term. Oh, you heard about this crazy flat earth idea? Whatever it takes for you to grow the cojones to go out there and talk about this, do it, you know, baby steps. We'll all get there.
Yeah, because this girl right here has bigger cojones than a lot of the flat earth men out there. So get them. Someone else, it's not about you. When you go out, it's not about you at all.
Nope.
It's about the flat earth, the subject. So let them laugh. They're laughing at the subject. They're not laughing at you.
Yep.
All right, so let me toot my own horn. So my channel is The Plain Truth. Last week, I'm driving up to the same place right now, up in Massachusetts, and there was an open mic at this yuppie coffee bar.
Woohoo!
And so I had a song that I wrote in the style of Pearl Jam's song "Just Breathe." So I got up and read the poem. I was going to have it live streamed, but the girl who was supposed to video it just dropped the ball. I don't even know what happened. Anyway, so I went through it. I did the whole thing, and flat smacked him with a Flat Earth song. And then the next day, I was going down through Maryland and just happened to be in the right place at the right time of a place that does karaoke, and I know about that. And so I then sang the song, but I got that on live. So that was live on my channel last week. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm gonna look that.
But yeah. So whenever I'm in a bar or in a restaurant, I always try to sit at the bar because that's easier to talk to people. And my opening line is, "Would you like to have the most disturbing conversation you've ever had in your life?"
Good one.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Because they're like, okay, what the hell is this conversation going to be about? Sure, yeah. What do you got? And then I just walk into I get my pint of beer, and I go through the whole mechanics of water, and I show them that it's level, and I've got them hooked because they know what I'm talking about, and then I just walk them through it from there. It was really interesting. One of my conversations, before I got to the punchline, the girl goes, "You're talking about flat Earth, aren't you?"
Genius.
So yeah, it's just you just got to take that first step.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, you should be really easy at pickup lines. I mean, didn't you have years of practice at that? Holy cow.
I was horrible at it. So yeah, there you go. But I'm good at flat Earth. I don't know. Maybe I.
Now your days of pickup lines are over, buddy.
Yeah, I'm being locked down. That's for sure.
Oh,
I'm already locked out. I'm sorry.
that's right. You tell it.
In case she's listening.
By choice.
So yeah, David, how about you, Ben? You got anything to add?
No, I think we got a lot here on already to come up with and to work on. So
We got a lot of work to do.
We got a lot of work to do, and we got a lot of networking to do. And Plain Truth, I would love to network with you. So hopefully we can communicate more.
Definitely.
Dave just subbed you, Plain Truth, just so you know.
Awesome. So yeah, let's hook up. Let's work together. Let's make this a reality, and let's get people out there awakened. Do whatever we can. Flat smack the heck out of people. Everybody, you know your role. So.
Yeah, I think we all got the memo on this. All of us. So this is our job. This is our mission to do something like with this. So yeah, we all have to take this seriously, and we got to have a plan. We got to plan our work and work our plan. So let's get to it.
Stick together, and we need to really stick together.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys hang out for a second on. Yeah, actually, right now we're heading over to Navy Pier for some activism. Me and FlatEarthCity. So catch his show live. He's going on live in a few hours, about 3:00. So be sure to tune into his channel and see what he's got going. But yeah, we're gonna wrap things up, guys. Everybody in the chat, everybody here with me, stay on. I'm gonna stop the broadcast.
And one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
For Spanish speaking people, like if you know Spanish people, like Critical Inception just said he's got a guy who has a few videos, Howard George Stirrup channel for Flat Earth. Critical Inception. He's always on this stuff, so I just figured it was important. Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt too, man.
No, that's amazing too. And then yeah, definitely. And we would actually looking for somebody who speaks fluent Spanish, who writes fluent Spanish, to do some translations for some of the media. So contact me or anybody here on the panel so that we can get that going too. So with that being said, guys, thank you for joining us on our live hangout. Much love to everybody in the chat. If we didn't give you a shout out, I'm sorry. We loved all you guys, and some people didn't get wrenches that I wanted to give wrenches to and just didn't get around to it. So much love, everybody. Thank you for joining us on the United States Google Hangout version of Flat Earth and activists. And hopefully you catch more of this. We'll try to do this more often. And yeah, stay tuned. So much love. All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.